And we are live. I am Eric from Hey Internet Eric here, and as always, I am with my co-host, I guess you would say, of the JVTV Uncut Podcast version 2.0 because I'm too lazy to fucking think of something better. I'm here with the man who suggested that we should have a bi-weekly podcast, but the fucker can only show up once every 6 months.
Who got sick? Who was ready to go a week ago?
Who responded to the text message saying, "Oh, I think I'm coming down with something as well."
But who was still ready to go on with the show, much like the person we're going to talk about, Maxine, who is a star?
Well, looking at her no eyebrows having face kind of makes me sick. Uh, we had this scheduled for last Sunday, and then we had it scheduled for this coming Sunday, and then I got a text message from Jay, or I texted Jay, and I said I had the next 3 or 4 days off, no work, no kid, pick a night, and we were gonna do this tomorrow. And then I got a text message about how the usual I'm fucking pissed at everything from Jay. So I said, hey, you want to just do it now and get it over with? So we're pulling off the
Everybody
Band-Aid.
loves me on and I'm not even, I get it. I get that's the thing that people like. I understand it, but I'm not even joking. It's like I took an Advil when I got home because I was on the verge of a migraine because I'm tired of dealing with stupid people wanting me to die. And so what kicked this off for me to, I guess, to do this tonight is, what Eric's he looks like a hill person. I truly believe he is a hill person, but he's a smart hill person. I mean, he knows how to capture the girls he's going to skin and eat later. He's very bright. The other hill people look up to him, so we cannot discount that. But so he knew by me being a little perturbed by the incompetence of, people overseas people helping who claim that their name is Susan, they live in Ohio.
This is going to be great because since you're on my channel, you got to watch not really watch the language, but you got to watch.
No, this is true. This could be anybody.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying in my own peaceful way, because I'm trying to remember I'm not on my channel.
That's right.
That sometimes there is a language barrier, which I am more likely to be sympathetic with and understand if you don't try to convince me your name is Tiffany from Ohio, when clearly it is not Tiffany from Ohio. All right. So
yeah, a little bit of context. Jay works for Doordash, and the literal text said, I'm fucking pissed. Why does Doordash want to kill me? So, like you prefer when we do these episodes. You like it when I'm a little pissed off.
Oh yeah. So I understand. I get it. Well, okay.
And you're always pissed off, but now you're like uber pissed off because literally we were going to do this tomorrow, and within not even 10 minutes, maybe not even 5 minutes, you sent me that pissed off text, and I said, let's just do it now. So, why do you hate DoorDash?
So I love DoorDash. Listen, I use DoorDash. I love DoorDash. I get it. And first, let me say one thing too. I am not rich by any means. I'm struggling to make it. I know what these people go through. So I'm always an over tipper. If you're going to do this, tip the person. Tip them. I'm not saying give them like $12 on a $2 order or something like that. Don't hide these people that keep doing this number. I know you didn't tip me when it's a $3 order, and whoever is hiding in their house waiting for me to leave. And I am such a bastard that I sit in my car. I purposely find something to do so I see them come out and look at me, and I just look right at them. I do the look of shame. Yeah. Don't think you're going to get away with this with me. Just don't insult me like that. Sometimes the order itself will make up for it. So sometimes I won't know. There'll be like a $7 order for a mile. Well, it turns out it's a lot of crap you have to carry, but who cares? But you get there and you find out, so-and-so, the instructions are different with each order. Like, leave it at my door. Just leave it at my door. Bye. I didn't tip you anything. I'm a scum. I don't, Okay, fine. But so that already infuriated me because I had that happen twice today. I was talking to one of my friends who, she's rich. So she DoorDashes like every morning. She gives me, and God bless her $100 Starbucks gift cards and stuff like that. This is the reason. This is why she gives them to me. It's not like I'm going to go to Starbucks when DoorDash doesn't accept the cards. You're dumb. Yeah. But I love you because you're dumb. It benefits me, so it's okay. So you have to find these little chunks of time and all that, and some are better than others. And I never really wanted to dash around my area. It's a little bit of a highfalutin area, which is good with tips.
Now,
Problem.
before you get into the story, how does that actually work? Because I've never done DoorDash. Like as a delivery person, you get a text message that you have to go pick up food somewhere and then deliver it. Is that basically all it is?
Well, first off, it depends on what tier you're on. Like, okay, so when you're beginner DoorDasher, I was only top DoorDasher for a while, and this is why. You have to get to a certain level where you can do that, where you can click onto the app and dash anytime you want to. Just press, I'm ready to dash now. I'll wait for an order. They don't allow you to do that until you have a certain acceptance rate, which means they want you to take every crappy order, meaning $5 from on a Burger King order, but you're going to go from Chicago to Morton Grove.
Oh, Jesus.
And then all the way back to your starting point. But if you hit that and you do it, your acceptance rate goes up. Once you get to a 90% acceptance rate, you get better deals, way better. Like you get like chain deliveries almost. Like you're gonna go to McDonald's, you're gonna go to Jewel and pick up this amount of groceries, and you're gonna hit this I don't know, Carson's Rib House, and you're gonna give you a map of like 3 places you're going to go, and you can come out of that with $30-$40.
So what do? You go on the website, like you sign in and you like, I want that one type of thing?
Right. You hit it and you can deny any order. You can say, yes, I'm going to do that order or not. The biggest thing they have is completion on an order. Like you can be late. I've never been late. That's why I think they still give me some pretty good tips orders, because with everything in life, I'm insanely on time. I'm like always an hour early. It's an OCD thing with me, but I have a 99%, and that's rare on DoorDash, I think, on time or early.
Okay.
Like they break it down into your grades and how you are in DoorDash. I think right now I'm a 5.0 is a perfect DoorDasher. Never misses an order. Nothing ever goes wrong, which I don't believe exists. So I don't know how they get there, but like, so I'm like 4.96 or something like that. It's basically, I think a lot of times because of like the speed. I'm fast. I get there. I don't know how. I will ignore their directions they give me, because you also have to use their GPS. So you use their GPS, which is, I can say, a lot of times accurate. But then again, let's say you're delivering to a high school. They don't tell you it's a high school.
Oh, really?
You're going to now turn to 1115 Parkway. Okay. Here's a vast building the size of 8 football fields. They don't tell me what door to go to. You have to rely on the customer to put in their notes. Meet me at this. And sometimes that doesn't even help. Like I had a teacher once, meet me at this south entrance. I can't tell right from left without pretending to eat. So how am I going to... how am I gonna? I don't know. Go south. I'm not in geography class. I don't go to the school. I'm just trying to drop off your crappy food. But so yeah, there's good orders and there's bad orders. But the thing that they do that drives me absolutely crazy, and this kind of ties into what happened today, is like a lot of people ask me why I don't deliver in my area in particular, since it's a little bit of higher income area, which I just got a deal on rent. I am not rich at all, but like my roommate pays for most of it. He's insane. Fine. I pay the same as what I pay for a shitty studio apartment in Chicago. So I know. And but they're like, why don't you stay out there and deliver? Here's the problem. Everything around here closes at like 10. City, you can dash whenever you want to. Here you have to actually reserve blocks of time. Like and you never know. They change from day to day. So it could be like, hey, 10:30 p.m. to 2 o'clock. You want it? You want it? You want to go for it? You could be sitting in your car and still not getting anything. But there might be 3 stores open, so they have that reserve spot of maybe. So you want to click it. Now, the few times I've dashed out here, there's several problems with it. There are no streetlights on the side streets here.
Now you're talking about where you live now.
Where I live now.
Okay.
Now, great houses and mansions, I don't know how people find them at night, because there's no street light. It's black. It's pitch black. You have to rely on them. And the people that don't leave their freaking porch light on when it's pitch black out, and I'm trying to do this to find your house. They do that all the time. I think murder should be legal. I think I should be allowed to knock on the door, beat them to death with the DoorDash, and then leave. Because
So-
how do you want me to find you?
So will that go against you? Say you can't find the house because the
Yes.
light's not on, and then you get dinged like in your score?
No. Then now we're on time still, so we got to hurry. We're on time. Now I have to call DoorDash and say, "Hi, Susan in Ohio," who then goes to me, "Hi, I'm Susan from Ohio. I am glad your name is Jason. I see you are one of..." I have to listen to her speech first, which just makes me want to die. I want to tell her to shut the fuck up, but I can't do that because then I'll get fired or something like that. So I have to listen to her go, "Thank you for calling DoorDash today. You know, you are much best. Appreciate everything that you do. We love you so much. Kiss, kiss, hug, hug. What is the problem I can help you with today?" Okay, we could have done without that, but all right. I'm here, and you can see me on the GPS, I'm sure. I don't know what house it is because there's no lights here. I am so sorry that you have to deal with that today. I would like to resolve the problems in the best way that is possible for the universe and for... Okay, just shut up. Just call the bastard.
Yeah.
Then they do the ultimate insult because you're like, I text them. I text the people. You can text the people. Say, "Hey, where are you? I'm not seeing your house." 9 times out of 10, they don't answer.
Of course.
They don't answer. Then you call them. That's hilarious. They don't answer that either. So then it's like, okay, so now I have to talk to Tiffany from Ohio, who's already done her speech, and then it's telling me, "Have I tried to call the customer?" No. I've sat out in the middle of the street, urinated, and screamed. What do you think? You know how long I've been doing this. You have me on your system. You just said I've been doing this for how many years? Thank you for being with. No, I didn't think to do that. Thanks, Tiffany from Ohio. I call the customer. I sat and I cried at my steering wheel.
Well, they gotta ask you to make sure you're doing the fucking job. You know.
Do I sound slow to her?
Well,
can I? Thank you, Tiffany. Okay, so we do that. I hate that. But so that's the first problem you have with delivering out here. Say you find them. Now, sometimes it is nice, but they are such snot rags. And Steve can attest to this because he used to DoorDash with me. He DoorDashed out here once. He told me never again.
Really?
He was driving his car. So I was with him.
Everybody, so that's bad.
What they did, he pulls into this mansion. It's like a driveway kind of thing. We had to pull all the way into there. They gave him specific directions I didn't see because I'm not doing it. I'm off. I'm just with him. We were hanging out after. That's why. And I guess it said to not ring the doorbell, and just leave it there. Steve always wants to make sure he does a good job and gives it to the person.
Right.
Steve pulled up. He's on time. He puts it down. After we go through this long winding, it's like from like a haunted movie. It's like one of those where we found the gate number, but you're going down. It's like it seemed to me, honestly, like half a mile or a mile.
The driveway.
Of a driveway going straight through this wooded area. I'm like, it's like a Eyes Wide Shut mansion or something. So we're pulling up. I'm not kidding you. It's like did we bring the cloaks? Are we going to the party? I don't know what's happening. So we pull up into the main part. And Steve gets out, does his due diligence, lets them know that he's there, rings the doorbell. He doesn't stay. One time, just so they're doubly aware, so they can't complain later on they didn't get it. Right. We have to cover our butts every way possible. We have to take a photo. We have to text them because people love to pull the "I didn't get it" because they want free food.
Yeah.
So he puts it down. The guy opens the door. This snotty kid who I should have known because there were like 2 Porsches, brand new ones in the driveway. I'm like, I already hate these people. I already looking for matches to set their house on fire. This kid looks at Steve, and I can't see what the kid says, but I see Steve go like this. And I'm like, oh, clutch the pearl. Something happened.
That's not good.
Oh, that is not good. Girlfriend, clutch the pearl. Something is wrong. And so Steve's just like, and Steve actually did it again. He stopped in front of the car after the guy slammed the door. And then Steve went again. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. So first thing, as a good friend, I asked him when he got in is, how did you fuck up?
Yeah, of course.
He goes, I rang the bell. And he opened the door. and I said, "Oh, here's your package." He's like, "What did I tell you?" What do you mean? He's like, "I said, don't ring the," just like that,
Oh wow.
doorbell. Now, and I didn't see him do this because I wasn't looking. I was trying not to. I didn't know he's being embarrassed, so I didn't want to like keep laughing.
Yeah,
but
right.
but like
What a
Steve
dick.
put the foot. He said, "You can put it down now." Oh, I would have, but that's just me. So Steve puts the food down, in front of the Fuhrer, and then the guy goes,
Oh wow, what a fucking prick.
"Oh hell no!" I was even saying on the way back down the little eyes wide shut driveway, I was like, "Pull over! I will pinch a loaf right here." They don't know They don't know who I am. There's no cameras on this driveway. I said, "Screw that guy." He said that to you. I said, "You can complain about that." I said, "You can actually complain about it." It probably wouldn't have done any good because the guy did give him a decent tip. But to me, it's like out here, and it's happened to me. They think that means we can treat you any way you want.
Yeah.
One woman, when I did out here, also, there's a lot of these out here that drive me crazy, which it's going to tie into the story, trust me. But this one's in Chicago, which is scarier. There are these private neighborhoods, which DoorDash doesn't recognize. So they're like, it's like, you need to go right on, Syphilis Lane or whatever it is over here. Well, Syphilis Lane exists inside Chantilly Homes, which is its own community. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, we have a couple of those here.
Oh my God. But they got me going off the highway 9 times out of 10. So I have to make a split-second decision. It's like, turn right. To what? Exactly. There's no street that you're saying. There's nothing you're saying. So finally I gather it together. Let's say I finally get together. That's this. Then you go in. And when I tell you these things are like golf acre sized, as far as the number of homes in them, and good luck finding the letters. I mean, the numbers. Yeah. And they always have specific instructions like, knock twice, then ring the ring bell so that I get a picture and all this. It's like, do you want me to pose for you too? I'm a delivery person. Leave me the frig alone. You're lucky if I find like your neighbor and I wing it at their house. Okay. Yeah. Shut up. So I get to this one lady and I drop it off there and I hear, now I found the number. I'm not late yet. I was pressing it. I hate that, freaks me out. I hate it. Yeah. I have like 2 minutes to go. I'm like, okay, where's the door? Okay, 1111, whatever. I go there. All of a sudden I hear, yoo-hoo! Yoo-hoo! What, you want a drink or something? Like, I didn't bring a yoo-hoo. I don't know what you're talking about. So I look, there's a woman on the other side. She's on the balcony of another part of the complex, way across. Jesus. I decided to go to my friend's house. We're here now.
And that's the face you made when you looked at her, isn't it?
I'm not saying it is. and she go, and I went, no, what I really did, I'll be honest with you. I went, and she's like, no. We're here now. We're watching TV. I don't care if you're using vibrators on each other. Why do you think I give a crap what you're doing?
She told you to
come to the light? What yeah. Okay, Carol Ann, I'll be right there. So she watches. She doesn't even come down with her, little, and she's not a big heifer from Chicago. She's not one of them pigs, She's one of the yoga moms with too much Botox. Okay. I know she can do a back bend, and so that means she can walk down 2 flights of stairs, meet me halfway across the football field of this complex. No, she keeps,
yeah.
And so then she, I'm like, I was waiting for her to throw me a treat.
So does that mean if she's at a different complex and you're late, even though she went somewhere else, that dings you too?
Well, because she'll lie.
Well, yeah.
She'll say he didn't deliver it. I didn't get the food. Now, she won't say I wasn't at the address. Mm-hmm. I'll take a picture of it. But for some reason, sometimes DoorDash will still side with certain. They have no rhyme or rhythm. Now, I think it's because they're so overwhelmed. There's so many people delivering, so many people ordering, so I give them that grace too.
Yeah.
But I basically got sick of delivering out here. Now the tips was great, so I ate a little bit of crap there. I was like, hey, I want to push this woman off the balcony, but I'm going to go across here because I see by the order, and I know what the amount of the order was. This chick probably gave me a $9 tip. I mean, I'll lap dance her. She gives me a little bit more.
Yeah.
Whatever. So I go up there and I got to be nice. And I'm like, she's like, I was at, and she insists on repeating the story. I was at home and my friend, I didn't know she was going to call me.
So she couldn't go.
So I came over here.
Yeah.
And I waited and I saw you and I saw that you were looking and you're like looking around. I'm like, that must be my DoorDash guy, as opposed to the other random crazy homeless people who just wander in your little rich enclave and stand in front of your house looking bewildered with bags. Yeah, it's me. Congratulations on solving that, Sherlock. So I checked that I gave it to her. She did give me a good review. A lot of people also don't understand. If you do an Uber Eats or DoorDash or you order from them, please always leave a star rating. You don't have to write a review, but leave a star rating because it helps us. Most people don't. So we have to rely on that to get our scores higher. Right. Most people just skip that part. They're like, because they think they have to write a review. You don't. Just there's like a 5-star, a 1-star. Pick what you think is best, even if you didn't like it, but just do it. I mean, it needs to get out of the way. Now, you make more money in Chicago, obviously, because everything closes down here like at 10 p.m. Like, there's like 2 things open. Like, not even the gas stations. Like, I was so blown away when I moved out here. They close.
There's not like any 24 hours?
1. And only the gas part is open. Not
you pick on me for where you think I live.
It's their snot rags. They just assume everybody doesn't like an actual 9 to 5. They're open really early. They're open at like their Starbucks out here opens at like most of them open like 5:36 in the city or whatever like that. They open at 4 out here. So that already lets me know, okay, a lot of people are commuting to Chicago or there's lots of commuters out here. I think at night it just doesn't make sense for these people to be open. There's not, I mean, there's like Taco Bell, 1 McDonald's that will stay open. I mean, those 2 will, and a Thornton's, which usually their inside is kind of like a Buc-ee's or whatever like that. Okay. There's their store bling shuts down because it's not worth it for the employees to stay. Only the gas part can you go in and get gas. I mean, you can go see a person for gas if you're having an issue because they have to have somebody there for that. Yeah. So I'm like, there's no money to be made out here. So today I found a good spot. It was after rush hour because rush hour in the city can be good because there's extra pay. But then again, stuck in traffic, that still counts against you, even if it's not your fault. Okay. Now, DoorDash has updated it. I don't know about Uber Eats to where things can be a little bit, they'll monitor traffic now. And they'll be like, okay, and they will send a text for you to that person saying, traffic's a little bad, delivery is going to be a little later than expected, not on you anymore. It used to be on you. So you're sweating bullets. If you hit an unexpected accident, an unexpected accident can break you. Yeah. Like if you all of a sudden see the sirens and the lights and traffic is still and it's not rush hour, they don't count that. You are screwed unless you can find an alternate way. You can get so lost in this area. It's ridiculous. Again, I blame it a lot. There's no side street lights. Like I can't see a lot of things. So I'm like, okay, today going to be a good day. I'm going to go out. I'm doing the, like 2 p.m. I can park while there's a rush hour, go get something to eat, wait out rush hour, then do it again, which I did.
Yeah. Cause you plan on being out late tonight because that's what you said. I said, you want to do it tonight. And you're like, oh, you might get back late. And you're like, you weren't even sure if you're going to be back by 10 o'clock.
No, it was doing good. So finally, then we get to, and I've had this problem happen before. It must have happened to a lot of other DoorDashers because now every delivery I've ever done, there's a thing that comes up after, did you feel safe? Well, as far as what? Like, I wasn't wearing a pretty dress. So I didn't think I was going to get raped or anything. I mean, but yeah, no, I felt fine. Now I get why they do it. Hold
on 1 second. I want to, I'm looking at my chat or my text from you tonight. So we're talking about setting this up for tomorrow around 6:30. We're talking about, we're going to eventually talk about the Goth X trilogy, which I don't want to talk about.
Oh, we're going to.
And I said, and then you responded to me by saying you're looking forward to that, especially.
Mhm.
You texted that to me at 5:23 p.m. At 6:14 p.m., I'm home mad because DoorDash insists on trying to kill me. I'll save the story. So within not even an hour, you're more pissed than normal. So go ahead. That
All
was just
right.
for context.
Thank God, because it was after rush hour, because I live right off the highway over here, which is a major blessing because the area where I live in, it's so far out, kind of like Waukegan, and Waukegan's a little bit further than me, but I'm Highland Park. So when I get on the expressway, which is just like 3 blocks from me, I'm flying. I can be in Chicago in about 15 minutes.
Mhm.
So, unless rush hour. So
Right.
I would have been home that fast. But here's what happened. So I'm over. I didn't do Chicago necessarily. I did Chicago, Skokie, Lincolnwood. Like adjacent to Chicago. Like you basically go in and out of Chicago because you're like everything's right there. It's a massive outdoor mini mall with you've got Starbucks to deliver, every food you can imagine, pizza, Chinese food, all this. It's a place you want to be at. You got a lot of competition, but not really because you also have Target, which you can deliver for, groceries and stuff like that. You got a Jewel right there. Looks good. So I get this thing, good order. Now, I remember one of the first times before I even started DoorDash, watching a couple of YouTubers say, never ever go to a McDonald's or a Burger King because you will be waiting forever. They treat you like crap, and it'll affect your 9 times out of 10, they'll tell you either go inside and pick it up. When you get there, they'll say, no, we didn't mean go inside and pick it up. You have to wait in the drive-thru. The drive-thru, you know how the drive-thrus can be at McDonald's. So you're waiting. Now that's time against you looking like you're sitting on your butt doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
There's one McDonald's I will go to, which is the one I went to tonight. They didn't cause anything, but where now they do it. They have everything ready inside for the DoorDashers and Uber Eats. It's a bag. Even if it's a drink, they've somehow got the drinks in the bag. You just got to go in there, pick up that bag, get in the last 3 digits of the order number. They confirm it. You show them, pick that bag. You're ready to run. I'm thinking this is great. It's 2 miles from where I'm at, and the whole order was about like $12 to $13.
Okay.
I'm getting 14 for only 1 mile, which is kind of rare sometimes, but sometimes people feel a little generous or whatever. Okay. Yeah, I know why. So I start driving. Now I'm heading out of Chicago, technically, towards Skokie. So I'm driving. And okay, this also plays into it. Not so much, but I have to say that because this is the only thing that keeps me sane. The thing on the Google Voice app that does like the navigation, like when I transfer Bluetooth to phone. So I tend not to use DoorDashes sometimes. I'll just put in the address of the Google one because I like to hear the voice I chose. You can speed up or you can slow down how the delivery is. So you could pick male, female, right? I picked female. I don't know why. It just came stock. And I remember one day I was so bored, I was just like kind of playing with it. And I realized that you could pick the speed so they could say like, you're going to make a right in 15 minutes, something like that. Or you could do the other end and make it really, really slow.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized in the mid, it sounds like a drunk ant. I swear on my mother's, who is dead, I swear on her soul, that my GPS, even Steve was like, what is that? She sounds intoxicated, and it makes me laugh every time with every single direction she gave me. So this is what happened. Go to McDonald's. Make her right on Chewy. Once you get to Chewy, go inside and retrieve the order. So I did that. I got the order. Now I'm already laughing because that's funny to me. I've done this a billion times. It's funny every time. I'm starting to drive. All right. Keep going down Cicero. About 2.5. I was waiting for her to go 5 miles. Okay. I call her Shirley, Auntie Shirley. I'm driving with Auntie Shirley. I got the bag. And then this is where she starts confusing me because I think she had a little too much. She goes, You gotta make a right on Capitol Drive. So I make a right on the Capitol Drive. I'm suddenly, I didn't know Skokie, which is kind of, used to be a little bit, not super affluent, but decent.
Okay.
I didn't know they had ghettos. Apparently they do now. Because I turned off a highway. It wasn't a highway, but it's like a route street. I'm not explaining. You know what I mean? It's like one of those streets that's there's not a lot of stoplights at all, but it's not a highway. So I'm on that. And I turn off it into a bunch of dilapidated buildings with no visible street signs. I mean, and finally I see the one she's talking about. Make a right. So I make a right onto it. Now I'm looking for now. When you get really, really close on your phone on the Doordash app, pops up the address.
Okay.
There is no such address to be found. But Doordash is telling me your destination will be 100 feet on your left. So I go 100 feet on my left, and they're like, you've arrived at your destination. Where? I see dilapidated buildings. There is a baby walking across the street. The mom all of a sudden runs out, grabs the baby. She swears at it in Spanish and just like drags it by one arm. And
That's
I'm like,
awful.
oh, I'm in the hood. Okay. I'm from Chicago. I get this shit. So I'm looking in the front and there's no numbers. No numbers. So I'm like, what the fuck? And so then all of a sudden,
have them painted on the curb? Sometimes they have them painted on the curb.
There was nothing on the curb except like, I take that back. There was stuff on the curb. It's called debris. There was like I'm not even lying. There was like broken fence parts. Like somebody had demolished the fence and like it was hell. It was the ghetto. I would have rather visited Cabrini Green back in the 90s than
you
been
ended
back
up. It's like, how'd you end up in Detroit, Jay? Jesus.
Yeah. So then it's telling me I'm right there, which infuriates me. It's happened before. What they mean by that, well, I later find out, and it's always later you find out, is that it's in an alley behind said building that has no address. Not only is it in an alley behind the building with said address. Now I have to guess this because I finally deduced, okay, they keep saying I went around again, just maybe in case I screwed up. They're like, your destination. I'm like, okay, Diane, I know they're on the right. So I go down the alley. I see an alley. It says make a left turn. Suddenly it says that. Right. And whenever it's a sudden kind of switch, you know they've adjusted the direction that Doordash has or whatever. They're like, oh shit, he just not getting this. So I'm like, oh, you want me to go down at pitch black, by the way. It's an alley.
Of course.
Now the alley here, because it's a suburb technically, even though it's the ghetto, is like this fucking tiny. So I'm driving a little Kia Soul down this crappy alley. Then I see the number, which was missing a number, by the way. It was like 4116. The 6 was gone. 6 was like gone, but you could see the imprint of the 6. 411 was still there. I'm like, okay. I look, I see it like a chain link fence deal. I'm like, all right, I get out. The direction from the person, the customer, leave at my door. Okay. Where is your door? When I'm telling you, there is no door. I'm thinking there's like a usual back of a building where there's like a walk up or something like that. No, it's all paneling. There's no back porches. There's just weird windows and shit. And people probably being murdered on the dark web inside. I don't know what's going on. Right. So there's a long like gangway. And I'm like, there's no lights on. Are you out of your fucking mind? Okay, fine. You're a big boy. You know about all this shit.
The shit you gotta do for like a $9 tip, dude.
Yeah, okay. So I go.
Jesus, never mind.
I go to the first layer of hell. I open up the gate. I get into the darkness. There's no light. Now I see there are actually little awnings going all the way down. None of them have a light on. I'm pissed. And then I hear,
oh no.
I'm like, and then, no, it gets better. I hear another, There's one dog is chained on their property.
Yeah.
2 feet from me. I didn't see it. On a stick. It's a pit bull.
Oh.
And it is pulling at the stick and foaming at the mouth and trying to do that shit. Now, the other one I'd heard, I don't know what demon from hell dog that was because I didn't even look. It's next to me, but it's behind the chain link fence for the other, ghetto duplex from hell. And so I'm like, hell no. So I go take the bag. I get into the car. I call Doordash, which is a mistake at this point because I'm mad. I'm pissed. So I'll get, Tiffany from Ohio again. Actually, it was like Dave from Akron this time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so glad you're our number one DoorDasher. Thank you for I'm like, I am here. I interrupted him. I didn't care. I said, that's nice. I said, I'm here at the order. I said, there is no visible address. I don't know what to do. I said, it's a long corridor. I am in an alley. Now, as I'm talking to him, someone is backing up I'm parked in the alley. Someone is backing up behind me, meaning, and they're starting to pull around. I have to get my fat ass out of the alley to let them go through.
Yeah.
And they're like, so then he starts going, have you tried contacting the customer? I said, I am in an alley. I have no parking space. There is a pit bull trying to kill me on one side. I said, can you tell the person I'm going to go around? Can you do it? Because I have to drive and shit. And go around and for them to come out. This is unsafe. There's no lights here. Right. They're like, so you are unable to find the residents? There is no residents. There is no residents, Dave. There is no fucking, what are you fucking talking about?
God, I wish we were able to record that. Keep going.
You should be used to a hut from where you're from in Akron, Ohio. Shut the fuck up. What are you talking about? That's what I'm looking at with wild animals out front. So he goes, I shall contact the customer and I will tell them your worries. There is nothing to be concerned about. I said, yes, there is. There's still a pit bull. I ain't going in there. I said, it's on a stick and the stick is moving. It's not happening. So I'm like, okay, fine. I said, here's what I'm going to do. I said, I'm going to leave it over the fence. So they're going to have to, I'm sorry, walk out and come get it on the other side of the secured fence. And do you know what this Dave motherfucker said to me? Now,
you can't do that.
He has requested you bring it to his door. Dave, and I swear this is what I said to him. I said, you are me right now. I said, there's a long, dark corridor in the middle of the night in a sketchy alley in Chicago, for lack of a better term, of what this is. This is not Tokyo or whatever. This is something from hell. I'm like, there are two angry animals. I don't know if they're vaccinated. I don't know what. And I just don't feel like getting bit today.
Right.
Would you risk it? And he goes, I've contacted the customer and they said they would like. I said, Dave, you're not listening to me. And I don't appreciate it.
That's awesome.
I said, any minute, another car or some is going to come down this alley. It's busy. Everything past this town is busy. Trust me. I said, what do you want me to do? I said, I'm going to make sure their food is secure on the other side, but they're going to have to walk however many feet because there's about 12 awnings that I have to get through. And I still can't see the path. I can't see it, Dave. And he's like, would you like me to stay on the phone with you? I said,
like that's going to do any good.
So here's what I told Dave. And I swear to you, I've never used this one. And I just used it. I said, you know what? I said, I have diarrhea. I am going to shit on myself. And I don't want to get it on their food. So I'm just going to put it there, take a quick picture because I'm going to shit myself. And he goes, I'm sorry. I'm like, Ow, my stomach. I am going to shit all over myself right now. I'm going to put the food down. I made it sound urgent. It wasn't. I just put the food down the other. I took the picture and I said, I have to go. I have to shit. And I hung up.
Did you at least check it over the fence like you were planning on it?
No. Fuck him. Fuck him up his ass with a rusty poker. No.
Wow.
No. I'm not checking for shit. I don't even know who you are. You know where you live. This happened to me one other time, but it was in the daytime, so it was more forgiving. And I'll say that the girl, they said it was an address. It wasn't. It's a lot of these are illegally zoned apartments. That's what it is.
Okay.
It's these basement apartments. It's the homeowner or the 2-flat person made out of like the laundry room.
Yeah.
And so there is no real address, and like you're taken to an alley. But the first time this ever happened to me, it was in the middle of the day, and the girl came out into the alley, and I was like, "Okay, I'm not a dick. I'm gonna And she's like, "I'm sorry about that." I'm like, "I know people have different living situations. I'm not letting Cujo attack me while I stumble. Let's say I get past him a little bit." He clamps onto my ass cheek. I'm bleeding. I'm still trying to make it towards the door just for $9, screaming in agony while asshole won't come to the front door. No.
Well, that would give you a 5-star rating for sure.
Right. So then,
oh God,
I hope nobody from Doordash is watching this, but this is what I did to cover. Now that a little trick I learned to cover your ass. When you're not sure about what the Doordash professional is going to say about you, you lie about the Doordash professional. To another Doordash professional. So you call up. Okay. You always get a different one. So I got a different one. And they're like, hi, Doordash, and Susie from, Hope, Indiana spoke a little bit better than the others from Ohio. Okay. And she was like, how can I help you? What is going on? And I'm like, I said, I was just telling the last guy he wasn't listening to me. I'm like, I got a sudden stomach ache and I think I have to go to urgent care. And I said, and I dropped the food out. I feel so terrible. But if you look at my ratings, I'm just really concerned. I said, and I said, I don't know if he was intoxicated. I said, but he sounded like he was I don't want to say, I said, but he was very hard to understand. He was stumbling over a lot of his words because I know this other guy did not buy my bullshit. So I got to cover my ass. So I'm going to get him in trouble. So she's like, she goes, let me look up your account. She looked at my account. She goes, okay. Oh, the person did get their order. Don't you worry about a thing. She goes, I'm so sorry you experienced this. She's like, oh my God. I said, I'm in such pain right now, but I wanted to make sure they got their order. I'm already halfway gone. and she's like, no worries. I said, could you please check on the other? I just want to make sure that they're okay. The other professional. And she's like, I will look into this. I said, okay, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, bye. And that's when I'm just cursing my, God in my life. And I texted you. And I'm like, because I'm actually flying down the highway at that point. I see my exit coming up. I got my exit. As I'm pulling, I parked just for a minute to collect myself. And that's when I texted you. I'm like, I'm pissed or whatever I said. And that's when I was like, let's go. Let's do it.
That's pitiful.
I can't. Keep going.
That's why I could never be like I never wanted to work in like the food service to begin with, like McDonald's or anything like that. I couldn't be a delivery person at all because just dealing with the time frame, getting lost, dealing with possible animals out there, dealing with assholes that won't answer the door, dealing with assholes that might answer the door naked, all that type of weird.
Oh, that's happened.
Oh, really?
That's happened. I've had a guy. Now they tell you to report this kind of thing, but I just took it as a compliment. A guy. Now this was unexpected. This was in. Now this is how this is how cunning I try to be at times. Steve, there was like a concert, a Stevie Nicks thing or something like that in Madison, Wisconsin, around his birthday. Now I happened to look up richest areas of Wisconsin, and I saw Madison was one of them. So I said, you know what? For your birthday, let's stay for a week. I might do a little dashing. Do you mind? No, absolutely not. Because I'm going to make buku money out in that motherfucker. So, and I did. I was making major coin because it's a college town, Madison is. And those kids, when I tell you the first dorm I went to, it was a condo. It was like a new fancy condo, not a dorm. I was confused when I went in because It looked like a luxury, like 4-star hotel lobby. But I see a bunch of crappy packages all thrown up against one wall of this fancy place. And so this one teenage girl is coming by. It's like, excuse me, am I in the right place? She's like, oh yeah, these are like the dorms. Is it like a dash order? You could just leave it there. They come down and get it. I'm like, okay. So I contacted the person. I'm like, hey, do you come down and get your, or do you want me to come to it? Nah, it's chill, bruh. Okay. Couple days later. Now Steve starts to see I'm getting money, and he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, okay, I'm dashing. And I kind of looked at this area is really rich, but we still are going to Stevie next things. He's like, well, I want to dash too then. I said, okay, fine. He goes, we had another order for the same building. Okay. Now I never saw this guy because he said, hey, chill, shaka, bro, whatever the fuck he was saying. Leave it down in the lobby.
Yeah.
Next night, I guess he and his roommate or whatever ordered again. This is Steve's turn. I'm like, oh, I know this building. And he goes, is this a hotel? I said, dude, this is the dorm. And Steve's like, are you fucking kidding me? I said, they're wealthy. They're wealthy kids. Just go in there, get the tip. His tip was $8. We only went a mile.
Oh, wow.
They didn't want to walk. And it was winter, but it was one of those winters where it was nice. The kids were out. There's pubs everywhere around there. And shit like that. They were walking in groups, doing all their things. This guy must have been so high or whatever. He didn't want to walk a block, 2 blocks. But it wasn't even a mile. It was so close. I was like, damn, I wish I'd gotten that order. But whatever. Steve deserves it too. So I'm like, we get there. Steve goes up, comes down. This is how I know when Steve's seen a hottie. He comes, as soon as he comes out of whatever building he's been at with DoorDash, across the street, whatever, I look at him. When he comes out the building, he does this. So I'm like, this is going to be good. He goes, that motherfucker. He goes, I would let him fuck me until I vomited.
He's always got away with words, doesn't he?
And I'm like, wait, what do you mean? He's like, dude, he is. Did you see him? Did you see him? Jason, did you? I'm like, no, I told you last night. He said, yeah, bro, leave it up. He's like, okay, yeah, this smelled a little bit like weed. He goes, this dude's like 6'2". He's like Italian or something like that. Fucking 8-pack, not even a 6. I'm like, how do you know? Because he answered in his like gym shorts or whatever, but nothing else. I'm like, oh, he's a college kid. What do you expect? You know?
Yeah.
He's like, oh my God. And he had a hard on. And I'm like,
it's a good thing you said Stevie.
But I'm like, I always have to check with Steve because I'm like, some guys are naturally well endowed and wear tighter stuff, and it's going to look that way. I don't want you to be mistaken and then to kick your ass in case it's just they got a big honking cock. I don't know how else to say it, you know? So he's like, no, like TP pointing, you know, and I'm like, gotcha. Then it's clear. I understand. Yeah. And he goes, I don't know what to do in that situation. I said, never anything on DoorDash time. I said, anything. I said, I don't care if he tells you come in. I said, if that was to occur, I said, you log off your shift. Because you can log off at any point.
Okay.
You can say, you can end there's a thing on the corner, end dash. You can end for whatever reason. End dash. Now then, I would end dash. I would wait 20, 30 minutes, say, yeah, okay, we could hook up or whatever, but I got to make sure I'm not going to get in trouble for this. You know what I mean? That's what I would do. So the very next night, order from same place again. Guess whose turn it was?
It was yours. Yeah.
Of
course.
Now I'm against
fair.
But when you get there, I don't remember night to night the apartment number. You know, I didn't see the apartment number the second time because it was his turn. So again, I had that day delivered a bunch of deliveries, a couple in 2 buildings on either side, I think. So I wasn't even like, I knew it was the same place, but I didn't think it was the same guy. I only started to when I got there, and I finally did look down at the name as I'm heading in, and it was like, I want to say like, you know, Salvador D or something like that. And I'm like, I think this is the same dude. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm tripping or something like that. So I come up, he opens it. Now I noticed as I'm going up, I'm like, this order seems a little low. It's so good for what it was. I wasn't complaining. So it still seems a little low, this order. I'm like, whatever. And then I'm like, oh, maybe he didn't tip or he forgot to. I don't care. Whatever. This was good enough for what it was. I am not bitching. So I get up there, says bring to the door. Knock on the door. Guy answers. Now, keep this in mind. He answers the first time. He's got like a robot, and he's like, he kind of stops. He's like, I'm gonna do what he did. He goes, oh, hey, I'm here with your DoorDash order. Oh, yeah. You hold on one second because I know you didn't get tipped yet. He goes, I was going to do a cash tip. Sometimes people do that.
Okay.
I'm like, sure. I said, no problem. He goes, you want to come in? And I'm a dum-dum. Yeah. I'm thinking there's kids going back and forth everywhere. Mm. I'm not thinking that this guy's trying to get dick from me. I'm not giving dick energy. You know, I wasn't like, it's not like I went up to the door and, oh, yeah. Yeah, you want your DoorDash?
Well, he was expecting Steve, and he's like, oh, well, I guess you'll do.
I guess this asshole will do. So I go in, and I'm just at the front, like, foyer, whatever. I don't know what to call it, right in front of the door. But I'm inside, technically. And he keeps looking at me. And then I'm starting to go, okay. He goes in the other room. I hear, some things shoving. This fucker comes back. Robe on. The shorts are gone. Dong is out. Hardish. Yeah. It's getting there. Mm-hmm. And I'm afraid if I stand there any longer.
Because you were expecting Steve, that's why.
I was afraid if I stood there any longer that it looked big enough to where it could start to push me out of the door.
Like Pinocchio's nose is
going. Like I thought it was going to hurt me. Like I thought it was going to be, ow. Yeah. It's going to back me into the hallway or something like that. So I'm like,
lies. Yeah.
This is the first time in my life I did not know what to say. I couldn't come up with words. Nothing came out of my mouth. Nothing went in it. But nothing came out of it either. And so I was like,
we here I don't judge.
I was like, I heard me do it. I felt like a girl. I felt like I was going to go take a rape shower afterwards. I was like,
that's awful.
So he goes, oh, here. It gives me like a 20. I'm thinking to myself as I take the 20, does he want me to do something?
You should see how he makes change.
Yeah, I was like, should I reach out a hand and just compliments of DoorDash, 'tis the season. Whatever. But I was like, oh, thanks a lot. And he goes, what time do you get off this?
Oh no.
And I'm like, and my dumb ass, I go, about an hour. Because I have nothing to say. I can't think of anything. So I'm just being honest. I should lie. But I'm like, about an hour. He's like, are you from here? I'm like, no, I'm from out of town. Yeah. And I said, my co-driver, we working together today. I said, because he does Dash too. I'm just spouting, like I was so embarrassed.
He's the one you want. Yeah.
Yeah. So then I'm like, and so then I said, I'm thinking to myself, maybe I could do something good here. And then I was like, I finally got it together. So I took the 20 and I said, he goes, I said, oh, why? I said, you're probably having some kind of party or something, but have fun. He's like, no party. Oh, and he's like, I'm bi, are you? And I'm like, no. And I'm like, but I have a friend who is. Like a read. I felt so stupid after I said that. I was like,
that when you ran to your car?
I was like, no, that he's like, and he actually goes, huh? And I'm like, and then I start explaining. I said, he was here the other night, delivered to you. I said, you order a lot from DoorDash. He had like really curly hair and he was up here. And I hope Steve doesn't see this. Because then he goes like this. He goes like, this is what the guy said. He goes, oh my God. He goes, I was afraid of that guy. What? And I'm like, so what? He goes, the guy with the curly hair, you know him? I'm like, yeah. He goes, he was like talking like this. He's got the curly hair and he's like staring at me like this. He goes, I thought he was on like crack or something. And I'm like, so that broke everything. I just started to laugh. He started to laugh. And I was like, I said, you know what? I said, if I have to come back again, I said, I'll suck you off. I love you.
You made a friend. Goes, look at that.
He thought it was funny. Yeah. So he goes, it's cool. And he high-fived me. So that's how I knew we were cool. I said, don't get me wrong. I said, it's nice. I said, it's like a pie I'm allergic to. I'm thinking about a taste, but I just can't.
Right.
And he's like, I get it, brother. I get it. He was so cool. It's the nicest dude after that. But it was that awkward 5 to 10 minutes where I was just like, that's what it felt like. It was probably 3, but that's what it felt like. I come down. Now I get in the car. I'm still kind of like, did I do the right thing? He's going to be mad, everything. He left me a great review. He even wrote a paragraph. This guy was awesome, easy to deal with, easy to talk to, had a great sense of humor, all this stuff. And then I'm thinking, well, maybe he didn't want me to say what happened. Like, and I came out with my dick swinging.
Yeah. I think he's just looking for a second date. That's what it is.
Maybe. And so Steve goes, was it the same guy? Because Steve's fixated on that. And usually it isn't. And so I went, dumb here. I go, yeah. And he goes, what happened? He goes, it took forever. I was worried about you. He says, what happened? I'm like, nothing. And he goes, you can't lie to save your life. I'm like, what do you? He goes, because whenever you lie, you don't look at the person you're lying to. He goes, I've noticed that about you. And I'm like, God, freaking fags are good. And I'm like, I said, he was naked. And he's like, oh my fucking, and he's having a fit. He's fit to be tagged. This boy's like, oh, like, I couldn't have been. He goes, oh, did he have a hard on? Did he have a hard on? How big was the hard? I'm like, no, he didn't. I said it was. Then I had to explain that there's like a half a hard on, and yeah, I did see it. And then I decided, for his sake, to leave out the fact that he propositioned me.
Yeah,
I didn't want him to feel. I felt bad. I felt
break
bad.
his heart.
So, and then about what he said. So I'm like, I said, dude, I was like, he goes, why? He's like, he really hit on you? I said, he smelled like shit.
Yeah.
And Steve goes, what? I said, I don't think he wiped or something like that. I said, dude, it was horrible. I was waiting for he had to get a money tip. That's why it took so long. But this motherfucker smelled like shit. It was awful. And Steve's face immediately was like, oh. I'm like, yeah. But secretly, I'm thinking, not. And I made a note of that building. Like the rest, we only were there 3 more days. I'm like, I'm not delivering to the building. I'm not delivering. I'll send Steve back up because at least he's afraid of Steve.
You gotta. He's like the what is it? The little pigeon or whatever, the canary that they put down in the mines.
Yeah,
you go after Steve to
make sure
it's safe.
Subject. You go ahead. But now we have to get to the real fun part. Your favorite actress, Mia Goth, and what we thought of the X trilogy. I'm dying to know. Let's start with X. You didn't like X, or you did?
Oh, I hated the whole trilogy.
You hated all of them?
I hated all of them. They all fucking sucked.
All right, best to worst out of how horrible they were.
Oh God. Best is probably Maxine.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised by that.
Okay. Then it's tough because X was really fucking boring, but Pearl was really fucking stupid. So apples and oranges. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You have to pick though. So what would be number 2?
Have to pick. Number 2 is probably X, and then Pearl is the worst because it was just so fucking stupid.
Okay, here's my ranking. I didn't hate X. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw X, though, I had no. I don't know if you had like expectations for it or anything like that. I didn't know what it was. Like, I remember it was a night. It was actually when we were in Madison, and I was looking for any horror film, and I saw it was Jenna Ortega, and it had the X, and she's holding like the X because I guess each character do it. They didn't focus so much.
They did multiple posters. Yeah,
they didn't focus on Mia Goth back then. So I'm like, oh, I'll see this. This is a horror movie with maybe it looks like a slasher, and I went in there, and. I mean, I couldn't take it seriously because the old people fucking just got me. I'm like, stop. We don't have to do this, do we? Like, seriously? I'm like, I think you had it good up until then. I get putting the old people in, but the over sexualization of the old people is just. I mean, I know it's not supposed to be gross because you're not supposed to be ageist or whatever, but it is. It just was.
Like, I went into it like not know. I just knew it was. I mean, it's not the first time we've seen this type of slasher movie. Group goes to make a porno on a farm. I've seen plenty of movies that were like that, and then the hilarity ensues. The problem was I didn't give a shit about any of the characters. Jenna Ortega, bless her heart, she didn't have much to work with. She was the nerdy person behind the camera who wanted to become the porn star later on. What do you fucking do 2. Who cares? That's not much growth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a fucking movie like that. It was super, super fucking boring. The only scene I liked in that entire movie is when they're all on the couch and they're playing the guitar and singing. It's the only time that I thought was, okay, this is kind of cool. I'm getting to know these characters. Let's see where this is going. And then no. Then it's old people fucking. We don't know anything about Pearl, which I don't care. She could just be a crazy old lady. Doesn't matter
Yeah.
to me. You know, we've seen those movies before. And then it just goes nowhere. And then she's psycho for some reason, kills the guy outside the van to
Yeah.
some song, and she's dancing around in blood. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
It's trying to be artsy. I don't fucking care. I've been bored. This isn't helping.
Mhm.
And then the final, I guess you'd say, sequence or finale, people are dying, and by the time, and I'm just glad it's fucking over. I don't care that there's people in the basement. I don't care that this person gets their face blown off. I don't care that the old man had a heart attack after sex, or what was it? And she broke her chest when she shot the shotgun or something stupid like
Yeah,
that.
I think she broke her ribs or something. Yeah.
It was just fucking dumb and
I thought that
boring.
was I did think that part was clever of the old man keep not wanting to have sex. It's like my heart. And for it to happen at that point, I thought that was a clever part of the writing. I didn't think it was as bad as you did. I
didn't
I
like I said, I
didn't feel
just
like
found it boring.
Friday
That was
the
the problem.
13th. Friday the 13th. Did we? I mean, maybe part 2 with Jenny and all that. Did we really get to know the characters? I didn't.
No, but the thing is, at least they're kind of somewhat entertaining. I want to see where this is going. I didn't give two shits about anyone on that film crew.
I don't know. I think we saw a little bit. There was more of like a practical and motherly side of the blonde chick, Brittany Snow or whatever.
Yeah,
I think there was something there with her. I think there was like the guy obviously was thinking this was going to make him some big fucking celebrity director. We all know he's delusional as hell. That's not going to happen. I mean, the whole her wanting to be a star thing was just kind of like, oh, I'm thinking girl from Iowa wants to be we get all that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as the twist in that movie being that, the preacher that kept seeing was her father, because that was the twist in the first one.
Whoop-de fucking do.
I know. I was like, I didn't really care about that.
Yeah.
But I was like, overall, I was like, to me, it was decent. Now we'll get to Pearl.
Well, I will say I'll give X credit, because as much as I do shit on, and I think rightfully so, Mia Goth, and that's probably something she'd be into because she looks like a fucking freak. You can tell.
Oh my God.
She was either married to or was banging Shia LaBeouf. So you got to be fucking crazy
married
doing that shit. I'll give her credit playing two characters, playing the porno star that I didn't give two shits about, and the old bitch that I didn't give two shits about. But two different performances, and she looked really good under the makeup.
And she wasn't hamming it up really, like she did in Pearl. She wasn't being like, "Oh, I'm a star lady" type bullshit. She mentions it once at the beginning of X, and it's like, okay, she was pretty chill through the rest of the movie. She got pissed off when she was supposed to get pissed off. She did what a character in that situation should do. I mean, that was another reason I like it. I didn't fault her for her decision making too much as a heroine, like in X. I mean.
Yeah, like I said, the main problem was it was just fucking boring, and
she got
like the half hour 45-minute mark. I was already out, and if I wasn't doing it for like a video on my channel, I would have. Well, my OCD also kind of forces me to finish a movie. Like I fucking finished Skin of Marink. That took me like months to finish, but
you finished that?
Yeah. Anyways, go ahead.
I could make it through 10 minutes of that film, and I was like, "What are we doing?"
There was like almost 2 hours.
I was like, "What are we doing?" This is what happens when Gen Z gets a hold of TikTok. It's the scariest movie you're ever. If that's the scariest thing you've ever seen in your life, you're gonna shit yourself when you see like the news or something. I don't.
Yeah. That's awful.
I was like, but okay, Pearl.
Oh.
I knew it was a prequel to X,
yes.
And now again, one of those things where didn't even pay full price to see it. It was like a matinee or something like that with Steve, who wanted to see it because he saw the poster and he thought it was funny. So I'm like, okay, goes in there. Now, maybe Steve had the right idea because he laughed through the whole thing. He loved it. He laughed. He thought it was hilarious. He could not stop. When I'm telling you, I've never seen him laugh with tears in his eyes so much at her stupid smile at the end. He couldn't stop laughing.
To laugh. That's the thing.
But he goes, she looks like a retard.
Yeah.
And he goes, and that's making him laugh. He's doubled over.
And that's Ty West because he wouldn't yell cut. So she's wondering, she's waiting. Motherfucker, say cut. I'm done.
Yeah.
You see, she's crying because she has to keep the fucking grin going.
But I'm like, I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure out what they're going for. You know, the dark side of the Technicolor 1940s movie. Because they even did I forget what channel it was on. They showed like a side-by-side comparison from some actual 1940s movie. I think Judy Garland was in it, wearing that same red getup.
They even the opening credit, like the way Pearl
font.
is written, font, it's where it says Pearl, it's exactly the same as the Wizard of Oz.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
We knew that's what it was supposed to be. This dark,
I went in knowing it was a prequel.
Right.
A lot of people were saying you don't have to like X to enjoy Pearl because the story is completely different. It's just about the old bitch when she's young and she tries to go to Hollywood, and then goes cuckoo. Man, I was getting into it because of the time period. Because girl on the farmhouse, dealing with an invalid father, dealing with an overbearing mother.
Yeah.
But man, when she came home and fucked that scarecrow,
I knew you were going to say that. That's exactly when I checked out. That's exactly when I checked out. I was like, are you effing kidding me? Are you serious with this right now? How am I supposed to take this serious? It can't even be a dark comedy. It's so dumb. And it's not even, I know that this wasn't written to be funny.
Right.
This was written to disturb me. If it had been written to be funny, I might have given him a little bit of leeway, but I'm like, no. He wrote this to be like, wow, she's so crazy. No, she's just an asshole. But that's what it is.
I couldn't stand that. It's just like there's an episode of Tales from the Crypt where, so that makes me think Ty West isn't that original. I guarantee he saw that one where Patricia Arquette is a homeless lady living on a farm with an asshole who's fallen in love with her and married to the lady from Pet Sematary that hung herself, character-wise.
Oh yeah.
The laundry lady.
Yeah.
And she ends up like falling in love with the fucking scarecrow. It's a dumbass fucking episode. So I'm like, great. I'm back to rewatching this stupid shitty Tales from the Crypt episode. Why should I get behind this chick who is uncomfortably bathing in front of her invalid father? Now listen,
I didn't like that at all.
I have a mom who is disabled.
I did too.
Yeah. Now, she wasn't as bad as Papa was in the movie, but I still wouldn't fucking shower and bathe in front of her.
It was so gross.
She has another parent. I don't care how much of a bitch this woman or overbearing, because I get how the mom was. I get it.
Yeah.
Because of the time period and the stuff she's dealing with.
Yeah, the mom wasn't
no money and all that stuff. Wheel the motherfucker into the kitchen. Mom, can you watch him for 20 minutes while I go bathe?
At the very worst, even face him away from you.
Turn him around.
The fact that she's just talking to him kind of even seductively. And
I was like, she was putting his hand in that bathtub.
Oh, she's disgusting. I was like, this is just not even fun for me anymore. But I'll tell you the part that pissed me off the most, and I think you might know, the way that blonde bitch didn't run out of that house.
Oh, when she was
I was like, are you fucking kidding? When she's like, this girl just told you she's killed animals, she's done all this. The way you didn't. You got to the door
because they set it up fine, because she killed like a chicken or something.
Yeah.
Like, okay, bitch is crazy.
Yeah.
Serial killers, they start with the animals and work their way up, and then now she's fucking a scarecrow. So then that totally defeats it.
I get why the other character would want to be like, okay, what do I do here? I'm going to listen to her confession because if I get suddenly, maybe then there's a chase on. Now I'm giving her that. I'm giving her that. She gets to the doorway when she goes, "You'll keep this between us, right?" Yeah, no, not a problem. Peace and all that. When that bitch got to that screen door and kept looking behind her, didn't take her shoes off, and ran down a country. There's field everywhere to get lost in. That's going to give you a fighting shot. And this shit's got to stop. Oh, help. I was like, she deserves to die. I'm a killer slow because she's stupid.
Yeah.
I'm like killer dumb.
So much.
I was like, oh, we're really gonna do the high heel thing? We're really gonna do that? Mm-hmm. And this stupid fucking thing? And yeah, that last shot of her, I was rolling my eyes so hard.
It was so bad. And then and that's the thing, on social media, because I'm in the horror community. I'm on
Yeah.
X and Instagram and Facebook, all that shit.
People loved it.
And it's nothing but that goofy ass fucking grin, or her fucking bawling her eyes out to the whole
Her monologue. That's all I heard about that
I'm supposed
monologue.
to be a star. I
Yeah.
don't fucking care.
Do you know what? That was a 7-minute monologue. Do you know people do that on Broadway every night?
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's good and all. I said, but I don't give a shit. I still don't give a shit about it. And maybe she's so good at it because the bitch is nuts naturally anyway. Because there's
Yeah.
been, did you hear the complaints about her from Maxine?
Mm-mm.
She was sued.
For what?
Well, I guess she's one of them, and we should know from marrying Shia LaBeouf, gets a little method once in a while. And I guess she thought she was Maxine. They didn't name the character who she did this to, but it was a male. And in the complaint, he was going to the bathroom or something. He kicked the stall door in, like the porta potty door in, and said, "You're nothing. I'm the fucking star here. You're a piece of shit," and started kicking at him with her heels. I am guessing, I have no proof for this, but I'm guessing, since she's thinking she's methody, that it was maybe the guy she had the scene with in the alley with the ball stomping. Because
there's no way it was Kevin.
It wasn't the black guy. And there was the only other guy that was really in the movie except the cop, and she didn't really have much to do with him. And I'm like,
the guy playing her father.
Maybe that's true too, but I don't know. For some reason, I don't see that either. I think because they called him a glorified extra, which annoyed me. I'm like, he's still a person. He's still working out of this. Bitch is no one. We're all human, and we all bleed red at the end of the day. I'm going to tell you right now, it's why I couldn't work in Hollywood with these method fuckers. Because the first time Tom Cruise or somebody tried to tell me, I'm Abraham Lincoln, you better call me Abraham Lincoln. I ain't calling you. I'm calling you asshole. Is what I'm calling you. And if that bitch came at me,
we talked about method acting last time. Like, I talked about how Jim Carrey got the shit beat out of him. Basically, got choked out on Man on the Moon. Yeah.
If that bitch had opened that door on me while I was shitting and talked about what a star she was, she would have seen stars. Yeah. I promise you. Yeah. I don't care that's me, a Goth you just laid out. Yeah. And I'll do it again.
I don't get, we haven't talked really about Maxine yet, but I don't get the hype behind this chick. I make fun of her because I don't find her attractive, and bitch can't grow eyebrows to save her life. Right. You know what I mean?
You're always saying that.
She looked like she burned him off on her fucking crack pipe, or Shia's crack pipe for all I know. But I don't get the hype around her. I know someone said, my buddy Mike said, to watch Infinity Pool with her.
I've heard she's in that. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I like Brandon Cronenberg, so I'll give it a shot. I've seen the Suspiria remake. She's in it very briefly.
Very brief. She was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, but she wasn't overacting, and she was barely in it. So it was kind of like she was tolerable, I guess, in that movie. But with Maxine, they built it up so much with this 80s nostalgia and the Night Stalker element and all this stuff that was going to be in it. And this is supposed to be the end of your trilogy and something pretty big. And just knowing from the jump that you're 5 minutes into this movie, it's her dad. Oh, it's her dad.
Now, see, here's the thing. I was really getting into Maxine. I was, because I love the 80s.
Yeah,
I loved I loved the soundtrack. I love how seedy Los Angeles and Hollywood was in the 80s. You know me, I love serial killers.
I loved the first 30 minutes. I loved it. I thought it was
really
great.
Getting into it because of Richard Ramirez and the Night Stalker. He's a fucking Looney Tune. Anything
up to the the Psycho House. I loved it. I loved that part.
That was great. And I'm all for. I'm like, okay, they're building up maybe because I didn't read Wikipedia or any of that bullshit. I'm like, maybe they're going to involve Ramirez somehow, but I know he's not the killer.
Right.
But they might change history a little bit because Tarantino's done that, and that's fine. And American Horror Story 1984, my favorite season, the one where they're at the summer camp.
Yeah.
Ramirez is a character there. They totally switch everything around. I love that. I'm all for that. I'm okay that Kevin Bacon was the guy driving the killer around.
Yeah.
Whatever. You knew Kevin Bacon was involved. He was a scumbag from the very beginning. You knew that.
Yeah.
I didn't mind that her friend or whatever at the video store was a victim because I knew right away, A, he's black, B, he's gay, he's dead. Fine, whatever. The little murder mystery, we know who you are. Here's your porno tape. I'm like, okay, this is good. Now,
Yeah.
am I liking it because X was born and Pearl was trash? Maybe. But the story is really getting me. The setting, all that stuff.
But didn't you know at that point, sorry to interrupt, but I have to.
Yeah.
Didn't you know at that point that it was her dad?
No.
Because in my mind, I'm thinking who could have known from that back then? And to me, there was only, it's not going to be the black cop that survived and actually said, yeah, this is one hell of a horror movie or whatever. I'm like, it's her dad. It's got to be her dad.
But see, maybe it's because I completely forgotten all about it.
Oh, okay.
And you only really, I mean, this would work like if you watched all three in succession. I would have maybe put 2 and 2 together because there's a reason why fucking Ty West, the last thing we really see at the end of X is his face on the TV or close to the end of the movie. So then I would have put 2 and 2 together, but I totally forgot. But when we get the reveal, I'm like, it's her dad. Why? Okay, but televangelist, super Christian. She's from porn, blah, blah, blah. She's going to be in a horror movie, blah, blah, blah. This is bad. Okay, I can run with it. But when he fucking takes the bitch to this mansion and ties her to a goddamn tree and wants to perform an exorcism
live,
I was texting you, telling you, okay, now he's going to exorcise this bitch. I hate this. This is stupid. I want to quit watching. There's 20 minutes left.
He's doing the very thing she was doing. He's trying, and it's so stupid. And they're trying to make it like, like an oxymoron and everything. I mean, no, this is dumb. I'm pissed it's her father. I'm pissed that I expected more creativity for the finale of this. I expected, like you said, Ramirez or somebody to be involved in a way. And let me say something about the friend thing. What really pissed me off about this entry was that she felt more from a guy we see her have 2 interactions with. That's the only time she's like, no, he's dead. Then these girls she's supposedly known for a long time.
Yeah, the ones that were like killed in the sacrifice.
She's like,
or whatever.
Oh, they're dead. Yeah, sucks. Yeah, I don't know about that. But the guy who she just basically, and by the way, what a friendship. Basically, what goes in there, do this for me. Bye. I mean, I'm like, I wasn't even buying the friendship that much. I was like, there wasn't enough between them for me to buy that. I was like, I get the whole thing. He's like, I'm the only guy not trying to fuck you because he's gay or whatever like that. I get that. Yeah. But I'm like, okay, it's her gay bestie. I get the whole thing. But I'm like, she feels so attached to him. These other females mean nothing to her. And then at the very end, the girl she meets for 2 minutes who forgets her real name, I got to save her. Fuck off. Will you seriously fuck off? That's the one that brought you to it.
And then I was like, okay, that's stupid. We get a little bit of a shootout with the cops and stuff. Yeah. Like that. I'm like, okay. I've enjoyed movies that were more stupid than this with like little scenes like that. Maybe the exorcism scene I can, push under the rug. Then then they make it to the Hollywood sign. I'm like, this could be fucking good. Yeah, because it looked good. It looked really good. You got the helicopter above, and that's really cool. And then the spotlight. Dad's laying down there, and this bitch has a fucking hallucination of her on the goddamn news, talking about how she survived.
Yes, blah, I did die, and I'm so happy to be here.
And then the dumb bitch is walking down the fucking red carpet or whatever,
as if for a sequel for a horror movie directed video. As if
I hated it. I hated it so much. I was yelling at you on the phone while texting you. I was yelling at my wife, who was smart and was on the iPad the whole fucking time.
Right.
I was yelling at the TV. And then we cut to the end after she has the little dream sequence or whatever, which was unfucking necessary.
Yep.
Then she kills him, saves the day or whatever.
Me. I will not accept the life I do not deserve. That was stupid. I don't know why we're doing that.
I will give a credit to when her dad's head exploded from the shotgun. That looked cool.
Okay, that was good. Yeah, the effects, some of the effects were good.
I'll give it props,
Yeah.
But, and then we cut to her. She's backstage. She's back to snorting coke. And she does that.
Star.
I'm a fucking star. Fuck you. Why does Ty West have to fit that into all 3 fucking movies? It means nothing. Who cares?
Because it's supposed to be some intellectual thing about it, like what you'll do to be a celebrity, and it's supposed to link it all 3 together. I mean, you're beating me over the head with it at this point, and she's so annoying about it.
Yeah,
it's just like,
care. I don't like her because of what
Right.
she does to the guy in the alley. Sure, he was a creep, but
Yeah,
she could have just shot him in the leg to show her dominance or how she's a
yeah.
strong female or blah blah blah. But no, she points the gun at him, makes him strip butt ass naked, puts the gun in his
She
mouth, makes him
sexually assaults him.
she makes him
She
like put the gun in
sexually
his
assaults
mouth
the man.
and like blow it
Yeah.
like it's a dick. And then he lays down and she stomps on his nutsack and it explodes. And we have to, of course, because of Terrifier, we have
Mhm.
to make sure we get to see the
Uh,
sexual organs plus the blood. So we get a high-heeled shoe on a nutsack. Why? Why do we have that?
this
It's
is my
unnecessary and
now.
stupid.
Why was nobody outraged by that? Because my question to all these people get outraged, with these like violence, misogyny, and all that is like, okay, what if we have had the shoe on the other foot on a movie? Let's say that the man was good. I mean, a woman was going to rob a man,
Mm,
and she's going to shoot him, and she's fucking. She's got a gun. Say this guy doesn't got shit. She's like,
yeah,
I'm gonna shoot you. You're a fucking pig. Get down on the ground, doing all that shit. But somehow he gets the upper hand. Then he decides to strip her,
yeah,
make her perform fellatio on the gun, and then he steps on her tits,
yeah.
like just maliciously. Would we be like, oh, good for her. Yeah, you go, boy?
No, we
No.
wouldn't. We
We'd
wouldn't.
be like, oh, he's a fucking nut, needs to be locked up somewhere too. But it's okay to do this to. That's my problem with this shit. It's like it's okay for this to happen to a guy in a
I
film.
just thought it was
It's fine.
fucking stupid. Then you
And yeah,
had the
it is
scene.
dumb too.
You had the scene where she was under all the plaster, to get her face mold and stuff because
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
gonna be a victim at the end of the fucking movie. The
Mhm,
movie that she's making, and she's having flashbacks of the old titty lady from
mhm.
from X. I don't care.
No,
Waste of time.
no.
More padding of this
It
movie.
made more
Um,
sense looking at the Bates house, like to have her remember the old lady because
yeah,
Norma Bates. I'm like, okay, I get because I saw her there. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. For all of a sudden now, because of your liquid thing, you have a thing about her. What? What?
I couldn't fucking stand it.
And
And
let's
then
talk.
and again we had then at the end of the movie, Ty West because he's a great director, I guess. I don't care. Here's the thing. So now because we had that goofy smile from Pearl, now we're focused during the credits on her severed
Uh,
head from the movie. Why? What's the point?
there was none.
Maybe I'm just stupid, okay? Maybe
No.
because I grew up watching Friday the 13th and all those
Right.
dumbed down slasher movies and I don't know elevated horror very much, I guess. But
Who is?
I don't get the point of why
Yeah,
everyone thinks Mia Goth is great in all these movies.
I
Ginger
don't think
Ninja's
so.
in the chat. I know he likes them. I don't get the point of why everyone loves Ty West. I don't get this trilogy. What am I missing?
I think I don't think you're missing anything. And I have to say, for her character in Maxine, if we were going to do what we did with the first two, making her all, I want to be a star, especially with Pearl, even though it's technically not her, I get all that. To me, it seemed like she was on Clonopin most of this fucking movie. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
she was so, as
Yeah, she was.
opposed to everything just felt like dialed in. Like,
Yeah,
she had no personality in this movie, not even an annoying one so much. It was just, she
right.
wasn't true. It's good because she wasn't doing, I'm a star every 5 seconds and all that. But she was just, everything was like, I don't know. Yeah. Okay.
The only thing that kept my interest, like I said, one thing about Maxine is it was not boring. It
Right.
was not boring at all. So that's why I put it at the top. Because there were parts that I really enjoyed, like the first maybe 45 minutes. But that's
Yeah.
because I love the atmosphere. Kevin Bacon was fucking great.
I thought even
I
her
loved
monologue,
watching him go around.
I
Every
love the
time.
monologue in this one at the beginning because that made sense. That made sense that, okay, so now we're on track. This is why she would get the part because she
Mhm,
was able to do it like that. And then the irony of, let's see your tits.
yeah,
Okay, I like that. I like that.
yeah,
I get this one. I get the cockiness then out of like, you might as well go home because I fucking nailed it. Like,
mhm,
I get it because she's,
right,
she's a cokehead. She's a porn star. She thinks she's the shit. She looks good. She thinks she looks good in other people apparently. But I'm like, okay, she's so just dulled down in this performance. I'm like, are these people your friends? Because they're acting like they're your friend. You seem like you don't care about anyone.
mhm,
Like her performance was just so anti. She seemed to care more about the people in X than even the like this. It
yeah,
was just like, and then you want me to believe all of a sudden she's got a personality when the black guy in two scenes dies?
mhm.
Then she loses it. Then she's slow-mo. I'm like, but the other one, the one who walked you home, invited you to a party, who you worked with for apparently quite a while, the blonde, the other one, you hear they're horribly murdered, and you're, what?
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't get the directing there. I don't get what the thought was. Like, I get her maybe being closed off, and then if that's how you're going to make it because of what happened in the first film, make it that way. Don't make her, how did she get all these friends all of a sudden? Like, it's not like people were drawn to this magnetic personality.
Okay, I got a question for you.
Go
My
ahead.
buddy Jason, he says some of Ty West's other films are better. Have you seen The Sacrament or House of the Devil? Because I haven't.
House of the Devil, I liked. I thought it
Okay.
took a little too long to get. I love the 80s nostalgia of it, though. So I was
Okay.
a sucker for that. I think it took a little too long to get to the ending. I was a little bored, but the last 15 minutes I did like. It felt like a kind of movie you would get off the shelf at a video store in the 80s. I did like
Okay.
that. The Sacrament, the only reason I really didn't like it so much is it was a shot-by-shot remake of a real-life tragedy, Jonestown Massacre.
Mm,
It's the same thing, literally. A
yeah.
Jonestown figure, the whole Kool-Aid drinking thing, the shooting of the center, all that. Like, it was a copy, and I don't respect movies that do that. Like, I'm like, if you're gonna do something, a take on it, I get that, but when you blatantly copy a tragedy, something that has real family members are still living, and so I go, that's why I've never respected anybody who does Manson movies. And Manson, the Quentin Tarantino thing was different because he put like a positive, well, what could have been. He didn't make the suffering and the horror of it, and like people relive that. We've relived that so many times in so many movies, and I think it's just gross to make a movie like that. That's what The Sacrament was like to me. Was if Ty West had basically directed the Manson murders,
Okay.
I have no respect for it. I think it's cheap and it's easy, and I didn't like it. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I didn't like it.
You like the cheap and easy that leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
Right. Normally, I love it, but I mean, this was
guy
just
on
not.
DoorDash. You know what I mean? $20 tip.
Well, I kept expecting. I remember the Sacrament because I kept giving it good reviews. I'm like, well, there's going to be a twist, or they're going to veer off in a different direction here. No, it was literally. I mean, the same thing. I'm like, so basically, you just. I don't know if you ever heard of this movie. Have you ever heard of The Girl Next Door? It's based on a book by Jack Ketchum.
Yeah, and I Wikipedia it. It's definitely something I'm probably not going to watch.
I would never watch it
because of all the assault that happens to the woman.
It got not only that, because I was a true crime fan, and I read years ago the true case that it was word for word almost based on. It's a girl called Sylvia Likens who was tortured by kids and encouraged by an adult. Everything they did in that movie, from what I read, it's exactly what I don't know how any living relatives didn't get to sue.
Yeah.
Because they took this poor girl's real life tragedy that happened in the 60s and they did a shot by shot remake. They just changed the name of the girl.
Really?
Everything that happened to that girl in that movie happened in real life to a real girl who died. And I'm like, all those down to the characters. They didn't even change ages or anything, or the amount of people that were involved, the ages of each. There was like the equal amount of boys, equal amount of girls, equal aunt. The branding of her as a prostitute with a knitting needle that was hot. That all happened. That all really happened. And I'm like, how dare you write a novel about it? I got a problem with you writing a novel about it, fictionalized, because at the end, the only fictional part was and I forget, like somebody pushed the old lady downstairs and she died. She didn't. She went to prison and she actually got out and died later. Like all these people got away with this, but that was the only part where there was a liberty taken. I'm like, you don't get to. I can't imagine if that was one of my loved ones, and you did a shot by shot and called it your own. So not only did the novelist, piece of shit, make money off of it, and he did it with other movies too, other tragedies too. He did it with the Manson case, down to cutting a baby out of a starlet in one of his books. I'm like, you're not a writer. You're not Stephen King. You're literally just looking up true crime. That would be me looking up a true crime murder, like that thing that happened, what was it, Ohio, where the sorority kids got murdered. If I just changed their names tonight and I wrote exactly what happened, and then at the end, I'm like, oh, and by the way, the killer got shot. but I described in great detail exactly what happened. And I called it my own. That was my problem.
Oh, do you feel the same way? Like he's at Ginge is asking, same way. You feel the same way about movies like the Black Dahlia because that really
I
happened.
think you have to allow for some time too. I think that, that was this little girl wasn't famous.
Mm-hmm.
This little girl wasn't seeking fame. This wasn't like a thing that shocked the nation. It was barely heard of, this crime. So if it had even been that, like, in a way, as much as I hate the Manson thing, I understood why people eventually would make a movie out of it, because it shocked Hollywood. It happened over that stuff didn't happen then. And they never thought girls would do this. Never did they think that. So I understood. I don't think that makes it okay, though, in a way. Like, I get why you have to tell a story. You don't have to do a shot by shot of the gruesome details of what actually happened. I don't think. Black Dahlia, I don't know if they actually did show. I didn't see it, so I don't know. But yeah, I know what happened to her. Right. There's different theories out there. I get it, as long as I also get like Jack the Ripper. I think time is far enough removed where nobody's going to be hurt by that now. There's no really anybody living who knew one of those victims or anything like that. I'm not saying it's wonderful. I'm just saying it is what it is, and it is a part of history, and it is unsolved. That's what makes it interesting. I think,
stuff about like the Zodiac, that type of stuff. That was never solved. Stuff like that. You don't mind
now that I get again, because at least there's a thing there. There's that's what grabbed the nation. That's it's unsolved. That I understand there's something there. When we know who did what, when it's not national news, when it's just a lazy writer found a grotesque story that they can change the names of the people, and it's not too far in the past, that's where I have the problem with it. That's where I'm like, yeah, no. I mean, you could argue, I guess, even with like Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer, that he was based on several different people, though.
He was mainly based on Henry Lee Lucas, but also Henry Lee Lucas was a well-known liar too.
Right.
He recanted a lot of his stories.
Right. And it wasn't really like these murders didn't happen the way that certain murders. I mean, it was fictionalized a lot. So that way, to me, it was like a good portrait of a serial killer that was accurate enough without having to like really drag a lot of reality into it, like people who might be affected by it or whatever. Like it still did the job. It still bothered me.
Yeah.
It's still, I mean, the home invasion scene still got me.
Yeah. Ginger actually lives, Ginger Ninja, he actually lives in Australia, and he says Wolf Creek is based on a real life, partially based on a real life Aussie killer. And
I think that one they took enough liberties with, though, because I know it was, but they focused on these three characters who didn't exist. I mean, the murder methods were similar, but the real guy, I think his name is Ivan something, killed a lot more than that.
Well, that's why there's going to be 3 movies now.
Yeah, I think I wasn't too keen about like them having like a TV show about it. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
What we know, the guy's a serial. What? Why are we trying to make this guy like a Freddy or something? It's not. It doesn't. I don't know. It didn't bother me as much.
He said the movie Snowtown, which I've never heard of, is where he lives. Is from where he lives.
That's bad. That's another one. See, I don't know. I might be a hypocrite, though, because I go back and forth. This was not presented as a horror film, the Snowtown Murders. This was presented as like almost like a documentary, but it was a movie. It's exactly what happened, pretty much. They did spare a lot of the gruesome details being shown, but enough was put in there to let you feel what you should feel about it. Okay. I can respect a movie that does that knows when to like not exploit the victims too much, like to show this is fucked up. We're going to show you some fucked up shit. But having read about the Snowtown murders, they were nice to us as to far what they showed.
Okay.
Like they could have gone there, and they could have really, for shock value. Instead they focused on performance. They focused on the impact this had, the reasons why some of this occurred. I mean, sexual abuse amongst brothers was a part of it. I mean, this was, so I understood that. Okay. There was another Larry Clark who did the movie Kids. He did a movie called Bully. Did you ever see that?
I've seen Bully. Yeah, that one's rough to watch.
It's a rough watch, but I understood why you had to take it there with that one.
Yeah.
I knew kids like that who could get lost into that.
Mm-hmm.
I knew kids I could think of probably 5 at the top of my head who I went to school with who would have never set out to murder somebody,
Mm-hmm.
but would have been so bored, so with the wrong people, and together it creates a storm. I was with people like that. Like
Yeah.
I was with at one point. I mean, I was involved in criminal activity in high school
Mm-hmm.
with people that were like that, and it was because I had nothing to do. I was surrounded. I was in a school with just people with behavior disorders,
Mm-hmm.
and when you're in that kind of environment, it's like a cyclone. It's and
Yeah.
so I appreciated the realism with that. Like
Yeah.
it showed you.
Well, and then they got the perfect cast. 3 of
Oh
the 4 are were
yeah,
fucking, hate to say, they're all Looney Tunes. Brad Renfro, he was. I mean, he's been. He OD'd what? 10, he OD'd. God, early 2000s, because
yeah,
he was
not
originally
long.
gonna because he was gonna
Freddy
be
versus
originally
Jason. Yeah,
Freddy versus
Freddy versus
Jason. He was
Jason.
replaced by Jason Ritter.
Yeah,
But it was creative differences. Well, he was on heroin.
yeah,
That's creative differences. And then he OD'd. Then you have Nick Stahl, who
right.
became a severe druggie and
Yeah,
alcoholic and was missing. Reported missing by his wife, he is now making a comeback. So that's cool to
yeah.
see. And then you got Bijou Phillips of all fucking
Oh my
people.
god.
She's fucking nuts. When you were talking about what's her nuts?
Hmm.
Mia Goth being
Mhm.
uh
Oh, she was beating people up on the set.
method acting. The first
Yeah,
thing I thought of was Bijou Phillips on Hostel 2.
yeah.
The one chick,
Heather
God,
Matarazzo or whatever.
Heather something. I knew. I call her the ugly chick.
Yeah,
Sorry,
ugly chick.
but that Heather was clean and sober for years and years and
Mhm.
years. Like, she was a severe alcoholic, and Bijou knew that. And one day she grabbed her by like the fucking throat and threw her up against the wall and said, "I'm going to get you trashed tonight, whether you like it or not."
My
And
question
Bijou,
is,
and the thing is, it makes sense. Look what happened to her
well, that
sister and
whole
her
family
dad.
is fucked in the head.
Yeah,
I mean,
and then she ended up marrying Danny Masterson from
but
that
my point,
'70s
here's
show.
my thing with Bijou, and this happened also on the set of Bully. She bullied, the guy was the fat guy. He went to Girls and all that shit. He was in Mean Girls also. The one who was obsessed with the video game. I think he played her cousin or something
I don't
in
know.
Bully. He was gay, but he was closeted at the time because he had to be, and she kept ripping on him for being gay. Like the whole movie, she was allegedly horrible to several people on that movie, like abusive,
When
all
Danny
that.
was was going through court and everything like that, she was either making bad remarks online or
Mhm.
just laughing and giggling during court and everything. She is an awful human being.
I don't understand why. Okay, she wasn't Ronda Rousey or anything like that. Why are these people like these other girls who are being pinned up against the wall? She's what, about 90 pounds soaking wet? I would have slapped the fuck out of her.
Well, here's the thing, though. If you know who Bijou Phillips is, she's probably. I'd be scared to death if Bijou grabbed me by the neck and threw me against the wall. You know what I mean? Because I got to go to sleep sometime.
Oh, I gotta go to sleep sometime, but that bitch is gonna think twice about coming to get me.
Yeah,
If I swell her eyes shut the first
yeah.
time. I
And
think
and, and that's
you get that way because she's allowed to get that way.
and that's another reason why I was when you said we were talking about Mia Goth, and I was thinking of Bijou Phillips because they were both married to fucking twisted people. Danny Masterson's going to prison for life for all of his
Well,
counts
she
that he.
finally divorced him then, and then all of a sudden she's out of like Scientology. That should have told you something
No,
too.
she's not. She's full of shit. But then you had Mia Goth. She was married to Shia LaBeouf, or however you pronounce it, LaBeouf.
Yeah,
And he's a fucking Looney Tune. He
she
pulled his own teeth out for a role. He didn't shower for like weeks for a role.
I would
He's got his own accusations of abuse. The chick
I
from the
wouldn't
new
have
Crow
worked
movie.
with that. Why
Yeah.
would you work with that? What other conditions would you like? I think it's the other celebrities' faults too for not standing up and saying, this is a fucking role. We're playing imaginary. I don't want to stand next to this stinky motherfucker every
Right.
5 seconds, get a tooth pulled out. It's not going to do shit for you, douchebag. Like,
Yeah.
knock it off. Make your
Yeah.
money, do your job, stop. I mean, you have this privileged existence and a great job that anybody would kill to have if they can have the ability to act.
Right.
But you need to feel the suffering of this. Shut the fuck up, will you please? I like how he said when he was doing his little art exhibits that he got molested because he had to, because he did this. I don't know if you remember this. He did an art exhibit where he sat himself in front of a table with a bunch of things And you could basically, people went in like 2 or 3 at a time, and they could do whatever they wanted to him. Yeah. So I guess some girl grabbed his dick. But he's an artist, so he had to suffer through that. And then he had the balls to complain about it later.
Listen. That's just fucking stupid. He's a celebrity.
Yeah.
He's allowing anybody from the public to do anything.
Do anything you want. There are no rules in this fucking art thing you're doing.
That's stupid. I remember he when he was going down red carpets with a paper bag over his head saying "not famous anymore" or something like that.
I would have.
I kind of wished it was plastic instead of paper. I'm not gonna lie. He was already at my boiling point with just him just being weird. But again, he was one of them Disney Channel kids too. He got fucked up. Big time.
I'm saying he had to have been molested. It seems that all these kids that got molested, Amanda Bynes, all these Disney kids lost their fucking shit. Yeah. And now, I mean, we all, I guess, shame on the industry for keeping it a open secret. Yeah. I think so many celebrities are still not being held accountable with this Diddy shit. Mm-hmm. The amount of people, why aren't you naming them? I want their names. Their names should be out there if they were at these parties and stuff like that. Leonardo DiCaprio, all these other people. You were there. We know you did shit. We know you saw fucked up shit. If Justin Bieber and other people were indeed raped at these parties, like it very much looks like he was, and he is not denying it. And there's footage of Diddy. What grown man asks a 15-year-old boy on camera, "Why haven't you hung out with me lately?"
What 15-year-old man, or excuse me, what grown man gives a 15-year-old kid like a Lamborghini, like on, what was it, on Cribs or MTV, some stupid MTV special? Yeah. And this is when Justin was a punk kid at 15. You know what I mean? He didn't know what he was doing. He could sing a stupid pop song. He got famous. And why is Diddy giving this 15-year-old like a Lamborghini?
Did you notice
whatever it was?
That's about the time, because I used to hate Justin Timberlake for being like a little asshole. I'm like, you shut the fuck up. You should be grateful, blah, blah, blah. But he's turned from the squeaky clean kid right up to the Diddy point where he met him. All of a sudden, that's when the drugs and drinking started and the outbursts and the other thing. And it's like, oh, he's crying out for help and nobody gave a shit as long as he performed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just don't get how Hollywood expects us to take them seriously when they let people commit felonies on the Oscars and get away with it. And then the fact that fucker got an acceptance speech, got to give an acceptance speech, you hit the host.
Yeah.
It makes me have that much more disdain for you.
Well, like Jason says right there, too many powerful people protecting other rich people. That's what it is.
When is it going to bite them in the ass enough? It's not going away this time.
No.
That's the problem. It's like they keep thinking, they're so delusional out there that it's gone away in the past. This isn't the 60s and shit where we don't have evidence now. It's just going to become more prevalent because there's more phones, there's more cameras, there's more audio you're not going to know about. Pick which side you're going to be on.
Right.
I would respect more a celebrity, because I think it would be obvious if an A-list celebrity came out now and say, listen, I was at one of these parties. I saw what happened. This is what happened. It was horrible. Now, if all of a sudden they started losing movies, we're going to know why. Yeah. And I guarantee now there's going to be places and resources they can go to come back. Maybe not the way they were, but if you're set enough, I think you should come out and say what happened. Yeah, I mean, you got to, or just be complicit then and shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear your charity anymore. I don't want to hear about your Darfur anymore. You don't give a fuck about a kid getting raped at a party that you were at. And don't tell me about anything.
Well, that's, not to bring up, the troll from, years and years ago, Feldman that we always talked about. I'm not excusing what happened to him was really, really bad, but the fact that he wouldn't name names until, a price was set, a documentary was made. But, that type of stuff, when you have to wait to a certain amount. If you know who it is,
you have to.
Why don't you say anything? Because that just makes you, was it compliant or complacent or whatever? You're just as guilty,
complicit,
regardless. Yeah. Like, come on. Are you trying to say all these people didn't know about Weinstein? That's another reason why I really hate, like with a passion, as a person, Quentin Tarantino. We said this on our last stream. How many movies has he made that Weinstein has produced.
You
How
knew.
many parties has he been to? He knew because he was engaged to Mira Sorvino, who was one of the first people to come out against Harvey Weinstein.
Mhm.
Motherfucker, you mean you didn't know? Like your fiance, you're gonna marry this chick,
Mhm.
someone who tells you the most private of private things, and didn't tell anybody else. She didn't say anything. Bullshit. Bullshit. I'm gonna go continue to make Jackie Brown and then Glorious Bastards or whatever else the fuck movie, Death Proof that I'm gonna make with Harvey Weinstein.
That was the problem I had with as much as I believe that something happened to her, Rose McGowan. You still worked in that industry.
Oh
You
yeah, yeah.
still you by what you say alone, all these years, a couple years after, like they look, they're wearing black dresses, they don't care about anybody. Well, you still sucked from the tip, didn't you? Meaning you still knew this was happening to
Yeah.
other girls.
Yeah.
So yeah, I believe he had you followed. I believe he wanted to keep an eye on you and shit like that. Fucked up. It all was fucked up. But when it was fucked up, as long as you had a show, it was still fine, it seemed. And then you worked for a pedophile.
Yeah.
And this, come on, when she did that, what was it, 2007, 2008-ish or something like that, when that Rosewood Lane movie came out, she just happened to hear because there was a protest outside. She didn't know what it was about. There was no Google. There was no anything, really.
Look, he was convicted in the late 80s.
80s.
He came back in 1993, 94, did Powder. Protest when that came out, and of course, it has to have a high school kid, get naked. Surprise, surprise.
That was so weird.
When Jeepers Creepers came out, 2001, people knew who Victor Salva was. When Jeepers Creepers 2 came out, when you have to have the high school boys sunbathing on top, shirtless sunbathing on top of the high school bus.
All pissing together with their asses out, butt to butt.
Yeah.
All that shit.
But you didn't know. And those all came out before her movie. She's been in the
she's acting like this was a time before Google, you stupid bitch. You're acting like
she's been in the industry. Let's see. I don't know what her very first movie was, but she came to prominence, I'm going to say, with Scream. 1996, 97?
I think it was a movie. She did some really bizarre independent movies. Like, I think it was the Doom Generation. It was like 91, 90 or something like that.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But you mean to tell me, and you mean to tell me that, I think that was Miramax too. I think it was the Weinsteins that helped. It was Miramax or Dimension, but either way, Weinstein's got their fingers in there. Come on. And then you see Oprah's hugging him and stuff like that. Oprah knew.
Everybody of course knew. She did. Everyone knew.
I guarantee you his brother Bob knew.
Did you see that clip that resurfaced? I like when they find these clips of celebrities that have told people the truth. And years later it comes back. 2005. Because we all thought, well, she is crazy too, but maybe it was harder to believe. The Courtney Love clip where she was on a red carpet somewhere and they said, what's one piece of advice you would give to a girl trying to get in the industry? And she said to the girl, never go to a hotel meeting in a hotel room with Harvey Weinstein. She said that on TV live in 2005.
But they don't believe her because look at the source. She's a crackhead.
Yeah. Right.
That's why no one believed Corey Feldman, because he's a crackhead. That's the problem. When something bad is happening and the person is trying to get that word out, when they're fucking dumb as shit or they're addicted to drugs,
well, here's what I would say.
They've been known to lie. That's why no one will believe them, because that's just Courtney being Courtney. You know what I mean?
But if I was that guy and I didn't do it, here's the thing. Like I think it made a little bit of the rounds back then. Why was there no threat of a lawsuit? Why was she not told, shut the fuck up? I mean, that should say a lot.
Yeah.
I would think somebody would take notice. Hey, why is this guy saying this bitch is crazy? And why is he threatening to Lord knows he could have.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's kind of a very, even for a druggie, for her, she could say lots of random stupid shit. She could lie about 1,000 different things. But for to be that specific, and I think it was one of the brief periods where it was between relapses or like that, very clear, very precise name that not everybody knew.
Yeah, and it could have been when she was doing People versus Larry Flint too. Because I think she was clean during that period. I don't know who produced that one.
Yeah, I'm thinking that it was around that time because they asked her that and she just said it, and I was but
then there's someone like Kathy Bates who's old school, and she flat out said, But what were you thinking what was going to happen if he invites you to his hotel room to read over the script?
That's true too. Like
You know what I mean?
I
I don't condone it, but come on, if he says, "Hey, we're having a
Mhm.
party here," and he opens
Yeah,
up the
that's
door and he's in
different.
his bathrobe, that's different.
Mhm.
But Kathy Bates said, if you're going to read the script in his hotel room,
I
you know,
not to victim blame, but I'm saying I think there's maybe one or two cases of a girl like have to be like straight off the bus
hmm
that would that scenario could actually really really work. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
you had to have thought something is weird about this. You
hmm
had to have. I mean, and I don't know. I guess it's you. It's kind of fucked up to be in that position where it's like either I do this or I don't have a career because no
right,
one is going to help me now. So
right,
yeah, I mean, you're still a victim because there's a power dynamic there that's awful. So, but it's I don't know. It's like yeah, it's easy to say. What do you do though? Like, I mean, not going could almost damage your career.
hmm
So it's like it's a very fine line you have to dance, and I don't envy anybody that did have to do that
right,
dance. But it's like I feel at a certain point you have to stand up for you and say, I am not gonna be raped or whatever
yeah,
by this asshole.
yeah.
Or, it's just not gonna
But
happen.
that's
And
what kind of
there were a few people that did that.
like that's what kind of worries me. My daughter wants to get into acting. You know, what I mean, she
Mhm.
wants to join the drama club in high school and stuff like that. Something that she's interested in. Now, hopefully, down like she'll never be. I will not allow her to ever be a child actress. None of that shit.
Mhm.
No, 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 no.
No, no, no.
But when she's out of the house, I can't do anything. I just hope that by then, air quotes, Hollywood's a little cleaned up by then, because
You know what you do?
with
I
everything
tell you, there's some
becoming
girls who've
public
gotten hip
now.
with this, and this is
Yeah,
why they never got touched and shit like that. I think a few of them said it. Drew Barrymore was like, and she's a little loopy too, but they were always surrounded themselves with guess who? Other actors, gay men. Get in with the gay men. They
hmm
will protect the bitch. They will make sure shit's not going right. They will tell you, girl, you're not
yeah,
going to that party tonight.
yeah,
So it's like if my kid was going to be at church, I was like, you find the nearest, the gay celeb club. You make frenzies. These are your girlfriends, and they will protect you and keep you, and they will think you're fabulous and help you out. It's like they've actually warned a lot of girls off. And Drew Barrymore said there's a bunch of closeted actors that kind of,
yeah.
but they stick up for the girls a lot.
hmm
And she was talking about one who was, I think he was in Mean Girls. He's now out, but he wasn't at the time. And he basically, she was being kind of hassled by a producer, like on her way back into the industry and all that. And he basically stepped up to the guy and said, "You better shut the fuck up
Yeah,
because I know what other shit you're into and your friends." So they got that leverage. Plus they're men, so it's a
yeah,
little. And
right.
I'm like, and she's like, and she goes after that. She goes, I surrounded myself with fucking gay dudes who are in the industry. She,
Well, her co-host is one. Her
yeah,
co-host is one
yeah,
on that TV show of hers.
yeah. That one I can't stand because he sounds like a little lady. I just can't stand that
He's been
asshole.
around forever. Every
He,
time, like he was on,
his
I think
voice
Chelsea
annoys me.
Handler, or
Oh,
he's been
his
on a
voice.
bunch of those shows, and I
And
just
I
can't
know it's one
stand
of
him.
those things that I'm shitty because I know he can't help that voice, but
Right.
that voice, I just want to hit him every time I hear him.
hmm
So anyway, I was thinking of that. Shut up. Shut the fuck up, Mary. Shut up, Linda. I don't want to hear your fucking bitch voice. I know how horrible it makes me, but it drives me crazy. It's not like, and I can't even give it some shit because it's not like, because we all know, and even Stevie will attest, there are gay guys who put it on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Steve,
Oh,
well,
honey.
the thing is, here's the thing I say about Stevie, and Stevie he's got some of the stereotypes. He
Oh, hell
does,
yeah. He knows.
but and he knows that. But the thing is, he also isn't like full-fledged gay. Like when it comes, he hates shopping.
Oh,
He's got
God,
a
is he shopping?
like he has a deep voice. You know what I
Very
mean?
good.
He's got a really deep voice, and he only does like the squealing and stuff just to play with it. You know what I mean? Striking a like I love him to death, and I've even told him, I said, "Yeah, Steve, you're kind of fruity sometimes, but you are
Yeah.
not the stereotype."
He hates Madonna.
Does he really? I thought he liked
Yeah.
Madonna.
No, I mean, old school, he liked her.
Oh,
Now
okay.
he's like, yeah, I mean, but he was talking about the last concert. Like, did you see that last concert? I'm like, of course I didn't see it. He's like, girl, you need to sit down. He's like, she can't even move. They're carrying her dead body around the stage. I don't know what these girls are going off about. Other gay guy he's friends with, who's a super Madonna fan, was furious at him for saying that.
Really?
He's like, the bitch
That's
can't
hilarious.
dance. He's like, how dare she is the mother, she's queen, she's everything. And he's like, she needs to sit down and stop. He's like, she's embarrassing herself.
That's awful.
But I just love the shit that he says. I love when he still can get the reaction out of me when he sees two other gay men and looks at me and goes, look at the faggots.
Yeah. See, that's the thing about that's the one thing I like about Stevie. There's two Stevies. There's on camera and off camera.
I love that video I have of him. I will forever treasure that video of him talking about his slow child, we shall say, and the way he just went off. And I said, you've got to let me keep that. You've got to let me. That was the funniest thing I ever heard in my entire life. And that's random shit he would say. And I love the poor.
That's why he's our unofficial mascot, you know.
Always.
Couldn't get rid of him if we tried, because I know you have, but I wouldn't want it any other way.
He's like HIV. You just gotta have the cocktail and live with it.
Or be like Magic Johnson that never had it.
There you go.
But that's a story for another podcast. I still say he never got it.
All right. Well, I think we've covered every issue.
I guess. God damn. 2 hours, and I thought we were just gonna talk about Doordash, but hey.
We did good.
This is to make up for like the where we won't be back in 6 months.
Oh, we'll be back for then, because maybe you mentioned to Steve, not me. The wrestling thing, like my birthday is coming up. You said March when though?
I'd have to look and send it to you, but it's March. It's in Berwyn, the same place that I went to last time.
Because he gets 2 weeks off every year around my birthday, and so that month is always usually good.
Let me check real quick.
Yeah.
But it's two different federations. One is the federation with the chains, and the other is the federation where the guy got hit. The guy in the audience got hit in the face with the light tube and had to go to the hospital. Listen,
like I said, that is fine, but I am standing in the back, and I will sue if something hits me. I'm not going.
Did I tell you? Let me see here. I'll look it on X. The guy actually came and told the story about how he was hit in the face with a light tube. And he did say that the guy felt bad about it, the wrestler. And right after after his match, because he finished the match, he went to the hospital, like on foot. He was running to the hospital. I don't know if he didn't have a car or what. Doesn't matter. But what was I saying? First off, he found out he was going in the wrong direction.
Oh.
So he went because he went to the wrong hospital, and then he went to the right hospital. He shows up and he's covered in blood. And he's like, oh, one of the nurses immediately said, oh, you're the wrestler, aren't you?
Holy shit.
So he found the guy that got hit in the face and, checking on him. Hey, man, I'll pay for your hospital bill, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And the guy said, no, can I just get a selfie? These are the people you're going to be hanging out with.
Hey, if that works for him, good.
Okay.
I want cash.
Tickets are on sale.
Okay.
Berwyn Eagles Club, March 22nd.
Berwyn Eagles Club.
That's in Berwyn, Illinois. So there's that one. So March 22nd. And then let's see. ICW. No Holds Barred. Berwyn. That's also in Sycamore. This is great podcasting here, people. All right, and then we have No Holds Barred 63. Okay, that's my bad. That looks like it's in May. No, that's an old one. Fuck, I don't know. Maybe they have announced it, but tickets aren't on sale yet. It's in March. It's in March, regardless.
Look, like you normally do. Just screenshot me and him the info, and I go off his schedule, so I gotta see what he's doing.
Yeah, but either way, March 22nd is one of the dates.
Right. He'd probably have to request it off in like February then. He just has to, he gets it, but he has to request a specific week. That's all. But it's doable.
Because I'm looking out, because they're having a show this weekend. I'll be out of town, but they're having a show. They're in Chattanooga, Tennessee tonight, and they're like pit fighting and girls against girls and all that fun shit that you would not have.
You both are fucking. I am shocked that he liked that type of shit.
I'm not shocked.
I was stunned. I was like, I don't know. Blood flying
Yeah,
everywhere. I was like, oh.
I'm just kind of worried that I'm not, but because of is Stevie's expectations too high? You know what I mean? He wants because of the DVD you guys
No, as
watched.
long as he sees real people hitting each other, Stevie laughs like a psychopath. Yeah, he'll be fine.
Yeah, because I'm looking right now. It's just showing all the stuff from last year. Tickets haven't gone on sale for that one yet.
You saw his reaction to the DVD, loved it.
Oh, he fucking loved it.
Oh,
He loved. There was a guy they recently, like the one we're going to go to.
mm-hmm.
Well, the one I just told you, the 22nd one, if that's the one. They had a light tube, like I don't know, 100 light tube match. Light tubes are tied to the ropes, type of thing. So throw them into the ropes. Like you saw my tweet that one night where I'm like right there, and I said, "Oh, I'm fucked," and it's nothing but
Oh
light
my
tubes.
God.
Well, there's this one wrestler named Akira, and he was going against Drake Younger. Drake Younger's the Christian that Stevie wants to meet. Okay,
Oh God, Lord.
and Akira, he did something like he did like a clothesline to Drake or something like that with the light tube, and the light tube pierced him on accident. I sent you that picture on Instagram with the meat and the guts. He's still stitched up from that.
Why? I don't understand. I mean, that's the only reason I'm really going is because I want FaceTime with these people to go, what the fuck is wrong with you exactly?
I know. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. And that would be fun. That would be fun because what we're gonna do is obviously we will be taking video and pictures and stuff like that.
It's like, would these seem like the question I would have from like, would these same people be like say the Christian guy or whatever, like, if I gave you $200 tomorrow just to bash you in the face about 5 times with like a baseball bat or something like that, would you be like, cool, I love it? I mean, like, what's, or is it just because there's not people there? Or what makes it fun for you?
It looks like it's going to be in May, with the change. So if it's anything, we'll probably be going to March 22nd.
Is that the Christian guy?
That's the one he's been with. Yeah, but he's no longer doing death matches. That's the thing. Stevie missed out. The last Chicago show was his last death match.
Oh, so he's not going to be at this one?
No.
Oh, I'm sure there's other people.
Stevie will see blood and guts. He'll be fine.
As long as there's a guy.
He'll have a lot. There'll be a lot of fat guys with no shirts on. There'll be a lot of muscly guys with no shirts on. They're all
as long as there's a muscly guy with no shirt on, you don't have to convince him of anything.
He'll be fine.
Blood or no blood. Blood is an added bonus, which I don't know what that says about him.
Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait for me and Stevie to go take selfies with these wrestlers, and you'll be the one taking the picture. Because I know you won't get in the picture.
Oh my God. No, you are not touching me with your bloody self. Get away from me.
I cannot wait for that live stream afterwards.
No, you guys can't wait to see me. Like me sitting there the whole time in horror, like, looking for the nearest Starbucks. Like, what's happening? Yeah, why are we doing this shit?
Because if all works out, and I don't know how the fuck we're gonna meet up, well, we'll figure something out. But I will be doing like little videos, me. Hey, I'm on my way to go meet Jay and Stevie, and then when we meet for the first time, because it'll be the first time all three of us met in person, and then the rule like you're driving.
Not that far from you, is it?
It was only like an hour from me. We were on the expressway, and there was tolls and stuff like that. But it was like an hour, maybe an hour and a half.
I think I figured from where I am now. I forgot what I told you, but it wasn't insanely far to you.
You said it was like a half hour, maybe
to your place, right?
Oh, to my place?
Yeah,
you're about an hour away.
Yeah, it wasn't like nuts.
Let me. Okay, so you're where?
Highland Park.
Highland Park.
Mm-hmm.
Highland Park.
You could put downtown Highland Park. It's like right there.
Okay.
I think it was like an hour.
Okay. You would take I-90 West.
I know
it would take you about an hour and 10 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad.
To like if you came to pick me up, like literally if you came to pick me up, type of thing.
See, I always had the idea you were more down like by like I don't know why. I always thought the place you're at was more like by Bloomington and shit like that, which like takes 3 hours to get there.
No, I'm an hour west of Chicago.
Like,
you're in Highland Park, so you're going through like Schaumburg and Elgin, and then
yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, so you're right. You're by Elgin, kind of.
I'm like,
okay, I get you.
Maybe half hour from Elgin. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
actually, again, I'm not a driver. I don't drive on it. I have such high anxiety. I fucking lose my shit. So that's one of the things. Like I won't drive when it comes to like that. But yeah, it says
Oh, I don't.
your
I get it. It can be really. It could be a thing.
yeah. I didn't type in your address, but I just typed in Highland Park to Sycamore, Illinois. I don't give a fuck if people know where I live.
Right.
Hour and 10 minutes, and
Yeah.
hour and 19 minutes if you avoid tolls. So basically, less than an hour and a half.
Yeah, I'd probably take the avoid tolls because 9 times out of 10, the avoiding tolls when it's that short doesn't make a difference anyway.
Yeah.
Like I probably wouldn't pay for the toll. I mean
Yeah.
and like I said, it really the highways just, especially what time you leave, that's what makes it or breaks it.
Hmm.
Like the highway I'm by that takes me into the city and probably would take me there. The one that would take me that I transferred to go to Schaumburg area towards that way. That might take a little bit longer. I think it's a little bit more because isn't that heading towards O'Hare or no?
What? Sycamore?
No, like the Schaumburg area. Is that going towards O'Hare or not?
Schaumburg. I can't see on this map.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to remember.
But like Highland Park, you're going down. You stop. Like
Yeah,
Chicago is like to
I'm
your.
going past O'Hare to get to you. I know where I'm
Yeah, I
going.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that part. There's a highway that's like right when you're going towards O'Hare that gets kind of heavy because everybody's going towards O'Hare. Once you get around that,
Yeah,
you're
and
right.
it looks like you go onto I-94. You
Yeah.
merge onto I-94 East, and then you follow signs for Indiana O'Hare.
Mhm. That's
So
where you
like,
start to get to
and
slow
then
down a
once you
little
get
bit.
onto I-90 West, you're on that for like 23 miles.
Yeah, it's I-90 West is where you start to clear up, and it starts to be like because I've taken I-90 West out to what's that? What's that fucking? That huge ass mall,
Yeah.
Woodfield.
Uh-huh.
Woodfield. That's
Yeah.
that's the one I take too. So yeah, I
Yeah.
just keep going straight that way.
Yeah.
I
So
know.
that would be your biggest thing would be just get to I-90 West,
Oh,
and
that's
then
an easy drive. That's an easy drive. Then even that's yeah.
and then it says keep left on I-90 until you get to 47, and
Yeah.
47 will take you to my area a little bit.
See, those streets out there are a breeze. Those streets are wide. Those streets are, not a lot of even if it's a lot of traffic, it's not. I'm used to Chicago crap. So it's
Mhm.
like, yeah, wouldn't be a problem.
All right, well, we'll figure something out. You talk to Steve. I'll text you the date, and
Sounds good
then
to me.
we'll set something up, and then it'll be a lot of fun watching you be uncomfortable. That's the main
Oh,
reason why
I
I'm going
know.
because I've been to 5 of these, dude. I mean, I've already seen it all. I can't wait to see Stevie get so giddy. I can't wait till because it's on pay per view.
I'm gonna be
It's all on
annoyed
pay
with
per view.
I'm gonna be annoyed with you. I'm gonna be annoyed with Steve.
It's great because it's going to be on, like I said, it's on pay per view. They film it all
I'm
live.
not putting on a smile for the camera neither.
No,
I'm gonna be
and
like,
I know exactly
why?
where the camera because it's going to be the same place I was before. I know where the camera is. The camera's going to be on the stage, and I'm saying to make you extra uncomfortable, we're not going to stand by the stage because there's plenty of room to move. We're not going to stand by the stairs because there's plenty of room to move. You guys said you're treating me, but you guys only have to
You
pay
will.
general admission. It's
Yeah.
cheaper. It doesn't fucking matter. First row and general admission, same fucking thing. You see the same thing. It's just as dangerous. We're gonna sit on the side of the rings where I was with my buddy before, because third row is literally against the wall and we can't move.
I fucking hate this so much already.
I told you I've been hit with thumbtacks. I've been hit with glass. I've been hit with the part of the fluorescent light tube that you plug in.
Then I'm bringing like what's that? What's the thing the bitch had in Gremlins when the guy was throwing the plates at her? I'm bringing that TV table.
Well,
That's what the fuck.
I am going to suggest you and Stevie bring goggles.
Oh, I will be bringing some. I will be bringing
A
probably more.
lot of people bring safety goggles, even the kids. And yes,
I'm
there are
bringing a
kids in the
fucking
crowd.
welder's mask or something. I'm not fucking
I
around.
can't wait to hear both you guys scream. And then on the replay, because you watch the replay so you can see all the different angles with the commentary. I can't wait because one of the commentators is an asshole. I can't wait for him to say, "Who the fuck is screaming like a girl?" And
I'll be
then it
like,
probably ends up
me,
it'll be you
and
and not
you're
Stevie.
nuts too.
Well, I told you one guy almost got impaled in the head, right?
No.
He's sitting front row. Okay, this is the guy I hate. We call him a Hawaiian shirt guy because he's just drunk and obnoxious. Like he ruins everybody's time. Like even the commentator hates him because he's had to calm him down sometimes because he day drinks and then goes to the show. Like the one day we went to like the 2 day the 2
Mhm.
event. Like he was already drunk at the afternoon show, And then when we were waiting in line for the evening show, he was chasing cars down in the road. He was plastered. Well, and this guy was also okay. I'm sitting here. The guy who got impaled in the face was like 2 rows to my right, for the earlier show. Hawaiian shirt guy is 2 rows to my left. Something happens. Light tube breaks, and you can't predict where they're going to go. Half of the light tube, and I literally mean half. So you know how long general fluorescent light tube is, right?
Mhm.
It breaks in half, goes into the air, like into the air. And I didn't notice it because I wasn't paying attention to him on my left-hand side, but you see it on commentary. He literally has to go like this and move to avoid getting impaled with it as it's coming down from the ceiling. The best part is the commentator I told you who didn't like him says, "Damn it, missed him, but there's always next time."
So I have to add a football helmet now to my roster of shit to bring so I don't get murdered.
It'll be great. It'll be great.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
I sent you the pictures of the bloody chicks and the blood on the walls.
I know you did, and I love it. It was so much fun to
was-
man. Yeah, I love jerking off to it. You're fucking nuts, both of you.
Oh, it's so much fun. Don't make sure you don't get any drinks, because you got.
I don't drink.
Well, I'm not saying not just beer, but soda, because you don't want the glass or the tax falling in that.
I didn't even fucking think of that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, because my buddy got us a couple beers, and I said, "Well, you better fucking cover your can, dude."
So I got to get something with a lid
Yes.
if I want to. Jesus
like a
Christ.
bottle of water. I would say bottled water or something like that.
Fucking nuts.
And the funny thing is, they also have like food there too. Can you imagine someone like eating
Oh,
potato
hell
salad?
no. And dumb Stevie is going to be trying to get every piece of food that he can. You eat the glass. I don't give a shit. I'm not doing it.
It's great.
I will wait till we were back at a hotel or whatever. I don't care. I'm not doing it.
It's gonna be so much fun. I hope it works out. This will be like the 4th time we've tried.
God, Jesus Christ. Oh, I get sick every time.
We're doing it for Stevie. It's for you. Jay,
I know, but I still am like, those pictures flash in my head, and I'm like, why? I don't understand.
You see the meat hanging.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Get away from me.
And the funny thing is,
I'm already acting like it's happening right in front of me right now. Like I can picture that. I swear to God, I would get the fuck away from me.
There's this big fat bald dude named Otis. He wrestles, sleeveless, big bald head. There isn't a fucking match where he is not left with like dozens of thumbtacks on the arms and his head.
Fuck away from me. Get away from me.
They have wiffle ball bats that have double-sided tape on it, and you got the thumbtacks.
Stay over there. Get your fucking if there's hanging flesh near me, there's
another guy named his brother. Like these are 2 like legit brothers. They do this. He takes skewers for shish kebabs, puts them on the guy's scalp, and pats them down, and they're hanging out of like this. You know what I mean? So they look just like that. They're barbecue skewers or shish kebab skewers. You're gonna have a blast, dude.
Why?
Because it's fun.
It's bad. No, it's not.
It's fun.
It's not. Arcade game.
You don't know if it's fun or not until you go.
I know Nazi Germany wasn't fun. I didn't go.
Well, it's like, I don't like watching football on TV. I think it's boring. But if I go to it and actually watch the game in person, it's fun. My daughter hates watching wrestling on TV. She enjoyed going to those wrestling shows with me in person.
She didn't go to the fleshy Texas Chainsaw versions.
No, not till she's at least 16.
Yeah, okay.
They had kids her age or younger there. I've seen, but that's on the parent. I wouldn't do that.
I don't.
Because you got to get out of the way with that shit.
Yeah.
Because there was even one time when it was during that. I know you want to go, but this is too much fun. It was the light tube around the ropes match that I sent you the text where I'm fucked. The wrestler literally looked at us against the wall and he goes like this, "Move out of the fucking way." So we had to move. And, if we didn't move in time, we didn't move in time. And he threw the opponent against the ropes, glass shattered everywhere where we were standing. It was great.
How much notice did you get?
10 seconds.
Oh, okay. That's
plenty of time.
Sure.
But the problem was we could only go to our right because to our left, there's a stack of chairs like taller than me. So we couldn't.
If I have to endure this,
and what sucks, it's banquet chairs too. You can't fold the banquet chairs to get out of the way.
Why would they do that? Why would they get regular banquet chairs?
Because where they're at the Berwyn Eagles Club, it's a banquet hall.
I can't believe these clubs allow this. I seriously, it blows my mind.
Yeah, it's fun.
There's no they don't worry about getting sued. These clubs.
They're the guys with the chains. They lost privileges somehow.
Okay.
They actually had to go to Chicago for a couple shows now.
Okay.
But now they are officially being allowed back in the Berwyn Eagles Club. So I don't know whose ass was kicked or dick was sucked or anything like that, but it's a big fucking deal because when they were in Chicago, they were not allowed to use glass.
No.
It was banned. But in Berwyn, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Kind of ironic, isn't it? I mean, you can shoot somebody in the face in Chicago, but they can't have a glass match. And I hate to defend it, but okay.
Yeah.
Maybe if they moved it to the south side of Chicago, they'd be good.
I've shown you the picture of the guy walking around with the fork sticking out of the top of his head. And...
Oh, what was the one that I forget what it was now? It was the one thing that we were watching because you have a great memory. Me and Steve were watching on the video that grossed us both out.
The guy had a pair of scissors through his tongue.
It was were they wiping blood on
that
each
was
other?
Fake. That guy.
It was the wiping blood on. Were they wiping blood on each other or something? There was something like that.
Like someone was bleeding. He took it and wiped it on himself.
Yeah, we were both.
That's a little too. Yeah, that's a little too.
Yeah, that one was that even got Steve, so I felt a little bit better. Not much, but I was like,
if you're rolling around in it, that happens. But he willingly did that. Yeah.
Oh no,
it's gonna be great.
I'm gonna get the most ridiculous shirt, I love Taylor Swift.
Oh, they're one of the wrestlers I interviewed, Dr. Redacted. He wrestles in scrubs because he's a doctor character. He either wears blue scrubs or white scrubs, and then he sells them after the show, and people will buy them.
I will buy his jock strap for Stevie.
He'll sell it to you. I guarantee you. He sells everything.
Oh, okay, cool. What? That's gonna be my little revenge a bit. Steve, I got a piece from that guy over here. It's just for you. It's a present, bro. Here's your jock. If you hurry and get back to the hotel bathroom, you can still smell the balls beneath the blood.
I guarantee you he'll autograph it right there on the cup too.
I love it. Okay, it might be worth going.
He's a cool fucking dude, and the thing is, after he's done, he's just a big geek. When he's done getting cleaned up, air quotes or not, he's back there playing magic cards with his girlfriends and the rest of the wrestlers. They're just a bunch of big nerds.
Now Steve. I'm warning you ahead of time. Steve's going to see if these guys will do anything else for money.
I do know that the ring announcer there is gay.
Well,
he's a good-looking dude.
Put a sock on the door. That's all I'm saying, brother.
He is a good-looking dude.
I'm saying let me and you know ahead of time. I don't want to walk into some shit. Just do the bro code. Do the frat thing.
Yeah,
me and you are down in the lobby and we see a sock. We go back downstairs, dude.
This isn't another Doordash situation, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna hang out for a while.
I will say I know the ring announcer who's been there is gay, and if my buddy Germ is there, he is gay as well. But he probably won't like Stevie because he likes big, fat, hairy guys. So he'd be after me instead of
Bear. Yeah,
Bear did. But he's a good dude. I'm going to actually interview him next Saturday. He's fun.
Yeah, what kind of interviews you got lined up? Is that it?
For now, yeah. And then I'm going to have a couple other people that have agreed verbally, but we haven't set a date yet. So I don't really.
Well, we got to finish this with I need to know. You know what I'm going to ask? What's going on with Willie? I have not heard anything. Our favorite piggy.
Last time I heard about Willie, after all those AI songs I sent you,
those are great.
He's still complaining that he is still stuck to the couch. He cannot walk up the stairs to his bedroom.
Oh, he's home.
He's been home for a few months now. He's been home.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's been home since. Maybe before Halloween. Something like that. But anyway, he's been relegated to the couch. And his physical therapist has left him because apparently his attitude is too poor.
No. Mr. Sunshine? Come on.
He still can't get himself down on the toilet, so he has to use a bedpan. He says he's not making any disability. He says he can't make workman's comp. He says for some reason he still claims he's the caregiver of one of his sisters, that fat lard.
How are you caring for anybody if you can't care for yourself? That makes no sense.
He's still complaining. He's still hateful. He's still only got 3 teeth. He's still disgusting.
Is he still like going after anybody, or is he just bitching about life in general?
Not yet. He's still complaining about. Okay. I'm just completely burned out. The world putting up walls to prevent me from recovering and getting my life restarted.
Jesus.
Shit. My therapist pretty much walked out on me 3 weeks after I got out of the extended care facility, old folks home.
Yep.
So I've been having to do my therapy on my own.
Yeah, okay, I'm sure he is.
This is how we're gonna end the podcast, because this is like 3 paragraphs.
Okay.
Then people from my work, air quote, helped me fill out my paperwork for disability. I mean, he does look disabled. Look at him.
Well, yeah.
Only the truth is they didn't. They filled out the paperwork for workman's comp, which is what I didn't ask for. Then workman's comp denied me because, according to them, I in no way can prove I was on duty because I'm a caregiver who works at home for my sister. There's no way any state, California or not, would allow him to be a caregiver for anyone.
He's no paperwork. That's why he's denied.
Then I finally got my paperwork done for my disability, but my doctor can't authorize me as disabled because I couldn't get in a hospital appointment. I'm now having to redo my paperwork and wait until February to put in my paperwork. 17 times.
How can he not get into a hospital appointment? That's bullshit. There are vans. There's shit that'll pick you up. Get the fuck out of here. It's because you didn't want to put the cake down.
I couldn't get an appointment with the doctor until the end of January. So I'm struggling not to give up because I'm broke and haven't been able to work for nearly 6 months, as well as going through PTSD and depression. One good thing is I've got an appointment to talk to a psychologist on the day before New Year's Eve.
Poor bastard.
I'm lucky to have that at least.
But poor psychologist. He's going to quit and go right to fucking McDonald's. Like, I can't deal with this. This two Jabba the Hutt motherfucker just drove me away from what my desire in life.
I'm having a bad day. I had a hard night. My PTSD from the abuse from the care facility hit me hard. I woke up feeling like I was having a heart attack. We couldn't get that lucky. My heart was racing and it was pounding in my head. I think I'm stressed because you're fucking 550 pounds. I think I'm stressed because I have a phone appointment with my doctor. I'm trying to put in a claim for my disability since I found out the people who were there supposed to write up my paperwork never did, and I found out a couple of weeks ago. They instead put in a claim for workman's comp that was rejected because I'm the caregiver who works at home for my sister, and they can't prove I was on duty. So I need my doctor to certify that I can't do my job, and I'm not confident that he will. He has been holding off refilling my pain meds, which makes me nervous. Why does everything put up barriers against me?
You know that abuse flashbacks he was having was, no, we won't give you thirds on dessert. We are out of pie.
Well, he did one show up. He did one show a picture of a cookie that he got that was really small, and he was complaining about it.
Well, that's the point, you ginormous building. They don't want to keep making you bigger because it's unhealthy for you. Fuck.
Because of not being able to climb the stairs, I'm having to be a mere consultant this year for Thanksgiving dinner. My niece Brittany is making her premiere as chef this year. It's driving me nuts because I have to sit in my sister's living room and can only give advice rather than getting my hands dirty. Brittany is already complaining about how much work it is. I'm sure she is now getting a lot of respect for what her poor, broken down uncle has to go through the last 30 years when I took over for my mom.
No, she's running, screaming, and vomiting from that house. That's going on. No, she didn't know. She was Thanksgiving dinner. He just pushed her ass in the oven.
I'm royally stressed. This is the first Thanksgiving I'm not able to work on the dinner. My sister is not feeling good and my niece has never done it. I fucking hate not being able to climb the stairs.
Order him, dude. What the fuck? The fuck are you talking about? I'll never forget that nasty shit he showed of that fucking Thanksgiving Day. Eat it, lick, good.
The tub of gravy.
The gravy, the gravy from hell, the diarrhea.
All right, this will be the last one I read for you, because like I said, I can go through all these all night. One of these days I'll have to do that, but this will be the last one, and then I'll let you go. Can you believe this shit? Last night at 9 p.m., my therapist left me a text message saying she wanted to come to my house and do a therapy session at noon. Mind you, this is 2 months after our last session. Well, she wouldn't want to come back. Would you blame her?
No.
I informed her that my household has the stomach flu. The truth is, I'm pissed as shit. First off, she texted me that late. She texted him at 9 o'clock. Secondly, it's been 2 fucking months, and since last September, she showed up twice. Thirdly, she decides to have a session in the middle of a horrid rainstorm with high winds.
What does that have to do with you?
Fuck her. I've been doing my exercises on my own. Yeah, right. This is a fucking cruel joke. Welcome to my life after my injury and torture at the care facility.
Wow. Like I said, no thirds on dessert. It's a bitch. What are you gonna do?
Okay, this is the last one, I promise, because he's talking about he's getting girlfriends. I'm getting royally annoyed with all these women I don't know trying to video chat me on Messenger.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck. Get the fuck out of here.
Give me a fucking break. These girls have to be royally needy to go after me like I'm some feast.
True.
He's as big of a feast, though.
Yeah.
I'm a pathetic shadow of the person I was 5 months ago. So imagine him like getting worse. Could you even imagine that, Jay?
So he thinks he was a stud like 5 months ago?
Apparently.
Oh, God.
I can barely walk and have to use a walker to get to the bathroom. Moving around is a test of endurance for me. That was before he even had the walker.
No shit.
Fuck. A few days ago, my walker flipped on me, and I fucked up my shoulder and got a knot on my head from hitting the door.
He's like a pig. You can't get up.
I pictured like a turtle on his back.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm broke and fighting to get disability. I'm having trouble with my eyesight, and I'm having tremors in my hands. Hopefully it's a stroke. You know, and I could say that because he said shit about my kid.
Right.
To put it simply, that I'm not a Chad. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay. I'm a pathetic fragment of who I was. I still can't believe he's getting worse. A broke loser who is currently living on a couch because I can't climb the stairs to my bedroom. The exaggerated attention just rubs that fact in my face. Find another guy to amuse yourself with.
Yeah, like he just turns on the phone and there's like girls. They're like, hey, we want to talk to you. You are going on sites looking for shit. That's what's happening.
Of course, yes.
Stop it. Nobody believes your fake world. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. And the unicorns in my yard are starting to annoy me. Go fuck yourself. Nobody believes you.
Yesterday, my walker flipped on me and I fell and hit my head and messed up my shoulder. I had to crawl across the floor of my sister's living room to get to the couch I've been sleeping on because I can't give up the 2 flights of stairs to my bedroom. I had no one to help me because I haven't been able to get a caregiver to help me, and my sister is in no condition to help. Well, his sister is fucking in her 60s. His niece is probably early 20s and weighs 110 pounds when she's wet and got bricks in her pockets. You ain't lifting that motherfucker.
There's got to be some kind of social service that comes to his house. There's got to be.
My therapist walked out on me after only 2 sessions.
Yeah,
I'm supposed to have a meeting with a social worker and deal with this crap. Right now, I'm beaten and trying to make it through the day, like I have been for the last 2 months.
You know what the social worker should do? She should have a van outside, take him to the doctor's appointment, and she gets a Twinkie. And she just kind of wiggles it in front of him, like, come on. He'll follow. He'll crawl. Come on. Almost there. Let's go. Slide down the stairs. Come on.
And that's it. The rest of it is from, those are all messages from Nabi. The rest is just pictures of him like looking like Kim Jong-un and John.
Well, we can always rely on him to, bring us positivity, which is something we need in this world.
And we needed to end on a positive note between Doordash and Mia Goth and Hollywood.
Why not?
Molesters. We could end on Willy's misery.
Why not? It's a perfect ending.
Yep. Death matches and Willy. Yeah, that's perfect for you.
Oh,
Could you
God.
imagine that fat bastard getting cut up in a death match?
Imagine him being in a death match.
Yeah.
I would now that I would.
He'd be the safest motherfucker in the world. He's got all those layers of fat. He'd be safe.
He wouldn't feel shit. There would be skewers, everything sticking out of him, and he'd be like, "When does it start?" Listen, what's this? What is it? Just foreplay? I don't understand.
Gross.
And he should have to fight them in a tub of that gravy.
Loser has to eat the skin.
Loser has to eat it out of his ass cheeks.
Oh, that's not gravy.
It looks like shit.
You know, when he turned that camera off, he peeled that skin off. Just went,
oh my God. I couldn't believe he thought that was like a serve, that he's like looking at the camera, like, yeah, look at yeah, it's good. Isn't it good? No, it's bad. It's really bad. It's going to give you diarrhea. You probably want that. I don't fucking know.
well, remember, he admits to shit in his pants because of the shadow people. So
him and Daffodil would get along great. Fucking shadow people. If I hear about that shit one more fucking time.
oh, that's right. Daffodil sees shadow people, doesn't he?
Oh, now he's a wizard or some shit like that. Yeah, of course. This is
don't
all.
We don't have enough time for another Daffodil story because that'll take at least an hour.
That'll take at least 3.
God.
All right, just sign off here, and I'll be back soon. And I guess next one will be on my channel.
Yep. So this is the part where I click end stream and we wait 5 awkward seconds. But this was fun. Hopefully, we do it within the next 6 months, preferably one more time before we're
all right. We're getting there.
We're doing better.
It hasn't been that bad.
You somehow Anchor fucked up and you can't access the old podcast. Are you still getting paid for that? You know those 2 patrons? Okay.
No, because it changed platforms or whatever it is. It's not Anchor anymore. It's something else.
Yeah, because I use it for this. This is what I'm.
I mean, if they ever give you an option to like click ads, just do it, because they'll do it anyway. So why? I mean, that's how I look at it. Like, if they're going to try to make money off us anyway, take the money.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, it was fun, Jay. I hope you dream of broken light tubes, Willy Gravy, and that one wonky tit with the one curly hair coming out the nipple.
Oh, nice. Just lovely. Yeah. It's been a day. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
All right. Just take it easy, brother.
Yep.
Bye.
Later.